What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Juices Loose podcast. We're up to 154 and another week. And so yeah, we're going to talk about Switch sales, Capcom reiterating their support that we have yet to see any real evidence of. And then anything else that anybody wants to talk about. I say let's just start with Splatoon again this week, just because I've noticed a few little things I didn't notice before, like Robert was pointing out, the tickets you get in the hero mode that you can buy in the food, what is that called? Like a food cart, not a food cart,
like
but
food
a
truck.
Food truck. And they actually gives you like temporary perks like double XP, 1.5 XP, or 50% boost in XP for like 20 matches. Or more gold and stuff like that. I didn't even really know that was in the game, and so that's just another little addition that just adds to the game, and I think that's really cool because it really ties in the single player, more than any other way that I feel to the multiplayer. So that was really cool. Enjoying it. We were playing. What was that? Saturday night. Terrell, me, Robert. I think it was just us three.
Yeah, I wanted to play, but I was too damn tired.
Yeah, you were traveling, so, but it was just fun again, and we use Google Hangouts to chat and we're just BSing. But I thought it was another fun night, and it's hard to take that game out of that cart out of the system to play other games. It's just every time I just want to play Splatoon, which I wasn't expecting. So, anybody got any Splatoon stories you want to get into before we hit the topics?
Well, I'll say that. So I did complete 100% the Sector 1, the first world of the single player. Man, it's going to be a while to actually 100% it all, just because you really have to play with 9 weapons each of the levels. So technically playing each level 9 times just to actually, 100% it all. And I mean, that doesn't include maybe sometimes you forgot where some of the maps are, the silver salmon thing. And the single player is a lot of fun. It's very cool. And then obviously multiplayer is addicting as hell. The main thing that I would like to be changed would be Salmon Run, and we could play that anytime we want. Because remember, we were like, oh, well, is it open? Oh, no, it's not. Oh.
Yeah, I haven't played it since the last podcast.
Yeah.
I literally played it like right before it closed because for some stupid reason, they thought the smartest thing to do on the weekend was to, it's going to close at 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like, come on. What?
I mean, and it's the private battles would be fine, but then you're not leveling up. You're not, getting any benefits to it. And it's funny, a bummer.
And it's funny because it seems like the rewards in Salmon Run like directly correlate with the bonuses you can get for turf wars and like ranked battles and stuff with the tickets and whatnot. And I'm like, well, then just let me play the mode more consistent. Why is it the funnest mode in the game is locked behind like a rotation of openness versus it's like everything has to be on a rotation with this game.
Nintendo want to be dicks.
It makes no sense. And also it has probably the best game mode for voice chat because it doesn't split you up. You get 4 people in there. If you're using the app, it's as long as you stay in that and never back out, it's going to be probably the best use of the online app because I did a test with Shadow Fox and a group of people, and we just really wanted to test it, played a couple matches, and it's cool. I do like that it splits the teammates up as soon as the match starts. Call of Duty does that, been doing that for years. Yeah, like if everyone had a mic before the match started, if you're not in a private lobby or party chat, everyone's talking as soon as the match starts, then it, this is way quicker. And I like that part, maybe it'd be cool to be able to turn that off. That option definitely would be appreciated. But the 2 matches we did, it worked great. The sound quality was great. And, just not being able to turn my phone screen off is just asinine because my phone was just really hot. I had it charging while I was doing it. But, I mean, it works. The actual quality of the voice chat and the way it separates the teams is instant, and it works great. So I just wish they, like Salmon Run, it'd be perfect because once you're in, you stay with the same 3 people. You could sit there and chat that way the whole time. You wouldn't have to worry about it. So I don't know. And then you can back out of that lobby or that lounge, and for like 20 seconds you can still talk. So if you like got booted out of the game or you backed out of the game accidentally, you can still talk, and it gives you enough time to get back in. That was a nice, a little thing I don't think anybody knew about, because I figured as soon as I backed out, it'd just instantly end the chat, and it didn't. So that was a cool little test. I wanted to have you guys test it as well, to the point where I almost want to buy just a decent mono headset, like the PDP brand. And it is a possibility, like it is an option to use. Like it's not the best, but if Google or whatever wasn't working, it would be a suitable option. So it was nice to actually get a real, I won't say hands-on, ears-on, I guess, with the voice chat. And it's got potential if they could just like the Salmon run, quit making dumb decisions about how things are handled.
Side note, I did want to test the voice chat, and the night I brought it up, they were like, "Nah, fuck it, we can go and Google Hangouts." And then all of a sudden, Juice sends that message out on Sunday. I'm like, "Oh, now you want to test?
Now you want?
Ain't this a bitch?"
Yeah, I mean, the sound quality to me is identical to Hangouts using my phone. Like when I use my laptop, I kind of have a cheaper mic, so I don't know how that sounds to you guys, but it definitely wasn't a drop off from what I was used to with Hangouts. I guess it felt more like Discord though, where it was a little bit, for whatever reason, it felt like it was easier to talk over somebody. I don't know. Hangouts, it feels a little, even though that can happen, it feels a little less like it doesn't happen as much where people are talking over each other. So, but yeah, and then the other thing, I guess, if anybody wants to give their rank, how far they're at, I'm up to 14 and in Turf War, and then I actually started ranked battles, which I had forgotten that they're actually really damn fun. I kind of gave up on them with Splatoon 1, and I'm just trying to get a B-, because I think all you need it is in one of the modes to unlock League. I don't know if somebody knows.
We'll figure it out.
It would suck if you have to get it. Nintendo Ultra's got S+ in all three, which I just
already?
Yeah, I just don't even know how that's possible. But
it's disgusting.
He's disgusting with that.
It was fun to play tower control, and like 3-4 in a row just KOs. In the splat or the slasher bucket is like perfect for tower control. So I felt right at home, and then played Splat Zones this morning, and that was fun. So it does suck that we got another weird decision. Why do you got to wait to get to B- where you can play with friends in the ranked? Yeah. That's another weird decision. Retro, you've been kind of quiet. Have you played any Splatoon 2 lately?
Well, yeah. Well, like the first game was one of my favorite games on the previous generation, so I've been playing it non-stop. I agree. Like I didn't even know what a league battle was at first. So when I saw what it was, I was like, but why am I being forced to play ranked with strangers first in order to be able to do league battles? I thought that was a bit weird, but I never do a lot of ranked because I know it's just not really my thing. I just prefer the standard turf modes. I've been doing mostly that. I'm at level 16 now, I think, because I had to work to get to level 14 and 21 to get my weapons that I usually play with.
Mm-hmm.
And I did some Salmon run. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with that. I don't mind the fact that it's not always open, because so far, or maybe I'm just lucky, because every 2 days at night it's like open. It's always from 2 to 2 for me, I think, from 2 in the afternoon until 2 at night. And I just happened to catch it, I think. But I feel you don't get enough points rewarded, so sometimes you have to play for like a fucking hour or 2 hours straight non-stop with like incompetent people. Because I agree what you said, that it is built for I always said Splatoon doesn't need voice chat. This is the mode that was built for voice chat. So when you have people with fucking snipers that are running into the battlefield, it's like you want to scream at these people because they're being so stupid. I just love this mode. I think even though I feel you gain points way too slow, I think the most fun ever in Splatoon, even with the first game I've had, is there's one specific round in Salmon mode where it gets dark and you literally get like 1,000 enemies running at you at the same time. That is so much fun.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. that they have some plan for it or something why they did that. But it would be nice. Like yesterday, I wanted to play it. I think Saturday we wanted to play it, and just couldn't. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer. But you can only, like I said, you can always play it in private battles. But I guess you don't get any benefit other than just practicing and having fun. But I think it would probably be fine because I didn't like Terrell. You said you think it gives you something. I didn't notice any rewards that time we played it in the single player. Like,
yeah, that's how I got tickets.
Is
that's
it?
That's where I was getting the tickets from.
Well, that's what I said. You have to play it for a very long time in order to get some rewards. You can get like tickets. You can get like those broken up parts that you can use inside your gear to make new slots. To get specific slots in your specific abilities. That's what I was looking for. In the slots, you can get gear from it. You can get like the food tickets from it. You can get a lot from it, but you have to work so fucking hard for it.
Yeah, and it's open till for the next
like
15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. They keep doing this shit where it ends at 8 o'clock.
Well, why started at 8 p.m. yesterday and have it go all night into the morning? Where like no one's gonna play that at fucking 3 in the morning in East Coast, you know?
Yeah, but I think it's because it's covering all time zones.
Is it?
Yeah, I think is it?
The perfect way to cover all time zones is just to have it open 24/7.
There you go. Well, that is true. I mean,
I'm trying to. Did you guys see the exclusive Splatfest stage where it's only going to be during the Splatfest and it's going to change? Do you see that announcement on Twitter?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
Really cool, but I thought it was going to be like a map.
Can we get that as DLC? Damn it, that's my statement.
I thought it was gonna be like an actual map that we could play out of Splatfest, but then I saw it said only Splatfest. I was like, oh, okay.
And it's gonna change every Splatfest. It's gonna be different.
I didn't get that. I didn't see that. So basically, you think there's an exclusive level made for the Splatfest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll link you the tweet so you can check it out.
Get the man the tweet.
Just to me again, I they're very weird when it comes to Splatoon. Everything's always like limited, exclusive, this thing and that thing. It's like, okay, but why can't
that's what I meant last time when it said it feels like a half-assed sequel somehow.
It feels like they definitely it's a sequel but I thought they would make more changes to the formula, like this kind of stuff, like the map rotation. Yeah, 2 hours does go by a lot. I mean, it does feel like a significant improvement.
That's a lot better.
But at the same time, there's what I play 4-5 times in a row. Played what's that stage with the
humpback hump track? Or?
No, it was the one with it's something stage in the title too, I think.
What's it? Oh, the concert.
Oh, Starfish main stage.
Yeah,
which I liked, but on Tower Control was like that 4 times in a row. And it's
I would like it to be an hour.
Yeah, hour would be great. You know
what this map looks like though? It looks like it was that one map in Splatoon 1 where it was kind of like it looks. Oh, I'm gonna have to find it because me just saying that one map just.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's really vague, sir.
I haven't even done the what's the one with like the climbing walls?
Oh, the one. What's that called?
That was in the test fire. And
yeah, I mean, I just meant like.
Oh, the something forge.
It's up.
I didn't think either.
Like muscle forge, something like that.
Yeah, muscle something.
Yeah.
I didn't think I had either T, and then I was playing this level. I was like, I know this level. Then I was like, oh wait, this is the fitness. This is the rock climbing one. Like I never even looked up to see that climbing wall. I was just the stage I knew. Just didn't realize it was that stage. Yeah, that was Saturday. And then the reef, I didn't know that by name. I was like, what the hell's the reef? Like, I never played that. And then I start playing it like, oh, yeah, it's just one of the usual ones that I play because it's, I mean, literally there's only 6 new stages and 2 recycled ones.
I'm seriously surprised with how little stages there are so far. I know they're going to be more, but at even the base game, like 6 new stages is like, come on, that's a little bit like limited.
Well, that's actually I'm about to say 6 stages was better than in Splatoon 1. What did we start with? Like,
5. Wasn't it 4? I think it was like 4.
We got 1 the next day.
So we had 5. We had 5 to start with, and we're starting with 3 more this time.
And the Sturgeon Shipyard, is that the one with the rotating thing in the middle?
Yeah, the one with the rotating sides.
I don't even know what 6 there are. Like Can't
because
even-
we haven't played. I think we've only played like maybe 4 of them so far.
the main stage, the shipyard,
Yeah,
the
Port Mackerel.
humpback,
There's the Inkblot Academy.
Art Academy, and then that's 4 new ones plus. Yeah,
So-
I guess I don't even know what.
So
all this
it,
is.
even though there aren't a lot, it feels like there's more because we barely have played all of them yet.
Yeah,
I've
that's true.
played. You can see in the app what stages are planned.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I'm
Well,
that's
wondering.
yeah, I'm
great.
just saying it's like the time I usually get on the stage I'm looking for usually isn't up, so it's like that, and I got to get used to all these new map layouts. That's the other thing I'm still adjusting to because, like, because of the new Triton, because we still have stages we haven't played. I think when the I think what was it? The shipyard came up. I was like, I have nowhere to go on this stage. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, which I like it, but you know, it's just kind of like. Man, it's just weird. Splatoon 2 seems to have a lot of small things about it that seem to twist the gameplay that no one really notices it until it's like, oh, that doesn't seem familiar at all.
Yeah.
I will say,
Yeah.
like, it's just reiterate how much better it feels to me playing it with the Pro controller. Like, it's so much more comfortable to play that game for longer periods.
Yeah, I'm over the gamepad now. I didn't think that was gonna happen, but
I know.
Yeah, I
Completely over
agree. Yes, I used to always be like, you know, the gamepad is that thing I never want to leave, and when you pick it up, it just feels a lot more bulkier and weirder
It
than I
does
remember.
now. Playing it now, it
I
really
wonder
does.
what it'd be
feel-
like to go back to Splatoon 1 and Wii U and
I
see-
might, we could maybe after the podcast we should mess around
check
with
it
that.
out, see what happens.
But
We regret
Oh
our
my god, we're terrible.
I will say, like, again, like when I die, I just hit that X button automatically every time now, and I use the little gyro pointer to point to a teammate and jump to him.
Yeah, I
Like,
stole
it's-
that from you.
See, I haven't gotten to
It
that.
feels
yet.
so right and
It is
natural.
it works very well. I stole that.
I
from
just
you.
clicked the D-pad.
Why are
Yeah,
robbing from
that-
each other, man? This is ridiculous.
But like to me, like that just going back to looking down and touching the screen, which I thought was just could not be topped, but I think it is. Oh, this is cool.
It's apparently the fight stick that the Switch is getting has come out, I think, at least in Japan, and they gave like this little cardboard cutout that
That's
makes it
awesome.
to make it look like a mini arcade, and you can
Yep.
you can
That's
That is
dope.
cool.
that
I'm
shit,
gonna share this in the chat so people can check it out because that's freaking awesome.
that shit looks so cool. It's like a really dumb thing, and I'm like, you know what, man, I'd probably buy that. Just
I'd
for
buy
the
that.
fun of
It is. It's a really cool idea.
Ah, that's so
Wow.
clever. That tripped me out, man.
You gotta
I'd buy
get
Street
the
Fighter.
vertical
just
one
for
too
that.
for like the Namco collection. With Gallagher
Oh
and all that
yeah,
kind
I
of stuff.
forgot because that came out like out of nowhere. What was that? Friday?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And I love the dude's like Splatoon decal on the back of his Switch. That's awesome too.
I think that's another. Well, actually, I think you can buy that.
How much is that fight stick's probably a couple $100, ain't it?
No, I think the fight stick's only like 70.
Really?
Wait, hold on, let me check.
Looks
Let me
pretty
check.
good.
Let me check. I don't wanna-
R.I.P. Hayabusa.
That is Hori's
That's
Real
Hori.
Arcade. Let me make sure. I might be full of shit.
$70 for a Hori.
The thing's so much bigger than the actual Switch. The
So
controller.
that's what
right.
trips you out about it. You're just not prepared. You're like, what is this? I just like the fact that they included it to make it look like an arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay, never mind. It's like, at least on eBay, I see it's like 200.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Well, actually, oh no, you can pre-order for 150. Okay.
So that wouldn't work with with ARMS, which uses the dual analog.
Nah.
It could.
It
I
could
don't see
work,
why-
but you'd be using buttons to move and whatnot instead of.
yeah, you'd be using buttons to kind
Because
of.
you got to like look at other people use the right stick. I guess you could just use a button.
Yeah, I think I'm curious if it only works with Street Fighter.
Shadow Fox might as well get that because he almost exclusively plays Street
Yeah, but I was
Fighter.
saying that's the only game he plays, man.
Jeez.
Now he's playing Splatoon, but
Well, I'm
he's got a lot of
surprised on
time.
that one, to be honest with you.
yeah, it's like that's a cool little thing. Someone's got to release it's not even like cardboard. It's more of a. It almost looks like
yeah. What would you describe that as?
it's like a formed,
Like foam?
almost like a thick rigid poster board or something.
Oh, like
That's what I was going to say.
like
yeah.
a press board. It's almost like probably wood press board, but a little more rigid than cardboard. Yeah, you know, if people hopefully have clicked on that link, the guy's name of his channel is like Nihongo Gamer.
Yeah, he does a lot of Switch like products and stuff. I've noticed. Like
Yeah.
he got that weird Pro controller that you can rip off the D-pad and it looks more like the Switch one. Still
Where'd
don't
he get
understand
that
the
from?
point of that, but I think he lives in Japan. That's why.
Yeah, Japan's got probably more accessories.
Yeah, because I mean
Yeah,
they got the pink and green Joy-Cons that you have to wait until the fall to get over here.
No shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, okay, that's one thing. When I went out to like the Best Buy, I was like, "Why is all the other stuff here, but not the Joy-Cons?"
What about the Pro
Because
controller?
it's Splatoon and it's Japan. That's why.
The Pro controller is the
Make
same
sure
thing.
that-
You can't get the Pro controller right now, not in
No.
America.
I've seen
I think you can
those
import it.
You guys don't have those Joy-Cons
Yeah, you can
yet? I think I've
import
seen
it,
those over here.
Yeah, you can import it. Like Japan has it, but like you got to import it if you're anywhere else.
Is it worth it?
I mean, I like the colors. I mean, it looks.
I mean, it's gonna come here eventually. Is it worth paying that shipping and all that?
Some people are whores. You got to realize that. I mean, that's what people do. They import games because of that. Like people are probably importing Dragon Quest 11.
Well, I imported I Am Setsuna because we don't have a physical one here, and it wasn't that much more. It's like $10.
Hey man, that's gonna stay in the box though. Let's be real here.
Huh?
Is that the one that's gonna stay in the box though, isn't it? Setsuna?
No, he played it. Didn't
No,
he?
I played.
Oh, okay. I thought you just would have bought the American version and then.
No, I didn't buy it digitally. I just bought the Japanese one
Okay. Never
Yeah,
mind.
this fight stick's no joke, man. There's all kinds of buttons.
because it already has English subtitles.
Oh, does it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it depends on it. It automatically, like whatever region that your Switch is in, it automatically set the language to it.
Wow. Okay. That's,
Yeah.
all right.
I did the
That's
same thing after I saw this video. I instantly bought it too. I think I paid like $40 including shipping to get that here. 40 or 50, not even. You don't pay a lot of shipping for if you get a normal set. I think I paid like $4 shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's is there another game that's only going to be digital over here, or maybe digital in Japan? Thinking that.
Fate Extella is digital only, right?
Yeah,
No, it has a physical version here.
does
It
it?
does.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It was a weird situation because people were like, "Is this really coming out physically?" And they're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Why?"
Yeah, that's crazy. I'd be shocked that sold 5,000 copies.
Yeah, I don't think it's good.
I think you guys underestimate how popular the Fate franchise is.
Well, no. I watched the anime. I'm aware of Fate, but like, I don't know that much about the Estella series. Like, I didn't think that was that popular.
I'm a Muso guy, and that game did not move me.
Well, it doesn't look great because apparently it was originally a PS3 game. What I've heard, anyway.
Well, it's another game though. I mean,
it doesn't look terrible.
I'm sure I'll pick it up at some point. Just not.
It's kind of like this Gaia 5 for me, where it's like it looks fine. I just have to justify buying it right now.
Right, that's the thing. It's like it's a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah, because like, dude, I got Sonic Mania in like 2 weeks. You think I really gonna want to? And I'm still playing.
It's 2 weeks
less
away.
than a month.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like because it comes out the 15th. And
That's $70 going to hit my credit card.
I mean, I
like,
could,
damn, where did my money go?
I'd be good for if the next game was 2 months out. Like, I'd be good playing Splatoon and ARMS and
Hell
finishing
yeah.
Zelda on hard mode. Like, it's almost too much in succession.
Which is weird because it's only like one game a month. It's not like
I know, but
Yeah, but that's a lot. One game a month when everything's like 20 hours.
But to be fair,
Like,
I'm playing
yeah,
like
Dr. 81's comment section says there ain't no Switch games to play. So
oh,
imagine, oh my god. Imagine
Yo,
Odyssey
chill out.
comes out in October, right? And all of a sudden, a month later, you get like Fire Emblem Warriors, and then a month later, you get
and Sonic
Xenoblade
Mania is
and Sonic Mania, and like, I mean, it's crazy.
well, no, that's Sonic Forces. Sonic Forces. will be
Sonic
out
Forces. Sorry,
because
that
Mania
is
is
in
out
November.
like, less than a few weeks, and I'm sitting there like, man, y'all need to stop playing with me. Y'all think I got all? You think I made up money? Y'all already fucked me on the Splatoon thing with all the amiibo coming out
All on the same day. And you bought the Super Nintendo pre-order, and then all of a sudden it gets canceled.
He said it because he got burned with Walmart. On
yeah.
I told people not to trust
I wanted
Walmart.
to tell everybody, like when it happened, when everybody was jumping and happy because they got, but I didn't want to burst anybody's bubble. I was just like, I'm just gonna let it happen, and it happened.
Well, no, you know, the thing is that everyone's was getting canceled and mine's didn't. I was like, oh my god, maybe there's a chance.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
way later, I actually got a cancellation thing. I was like, no, no.
I'm still
I'm
waiting
not
on
even-
my
Because you thought you were
Master
special.
Edition
That's
for
wild.
Zelda. So
I can honestly say the SNES Classic Edition's like the last thing on my mind with all these Switch games coming out in the next rest
good
of
for
the year.
you, not mine. I need it in my veins.
Well, those are
I
the
already missed out on the freaking NES, and I'm running around trying to find one of these damn Amazon trucks.
Oh yeah, because they did. I did hear about that news this weekend, and I was like, y'all need to stop playing with this shit.
They playing games, man.
They try to fuck with my emotions and whatnot. These bastards.
I'm gonna have to just like get the Famicom one, which is way cheaper.
So you're just gonna take that L, is what you're saying?
And yeah, and then like what do you call it? Modded or whatever.
There you go.
Just put Star Fox 2 on the Virtual Console on the Switch. That's all.
I think they
Well,
will
first off, we
eventually.
need a virtual console on the Switch. That's the first problem. All right.
Yeah, what virtual console are you talking about?
Well, just put the game then. Just do what Neo Geo does and just put the game on there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I said they should do. I said, but then it's gonna be like, man, it's gonna be full of games on the.
Well, I mean,
Neo
that's
Geo at least
fine.
is kind of selected. There's not a whole lot right now,
Mm-hmm.
but if you just drop Virtual Console in there like a regular game, it's gonna be a mess. So they're gonna have to start separating that stuff
That's true.
at some point.
Yeah. Well, they could have just have the sections.
Yeah, they're gonna have to
But
segment
then,
it.
but then technically, all Virtual Console is technically a section.
Yeah, it's not like you booting up anything. It's
Yeah,
just,
it's not like it's literally this is the Virtual Console app. There's
Right.
not, unless they might know a Nintendo now, they might want to separate it as an app. But I don't know.
Or just sell the games all in one package for like $60. Download it on the Switch, and then if you want to,
yeah, that would be awesome.
if you don't
Here's
need
the
the,
SNES Mini Classic Edition of games, and then you just
I'd
get
rather
the-
have that than have to plug in that little thing and have the short cords and stuff.
you still on that cord and shit.
No,
I'm still 10 feet from my TV, so that ain't changing.
fucking Corrugate 2017.
Bruh, get an
Never
extender.
ends.
I mean, it's extra money, but you can. There's
Yeah.
ways around it.
I
Yeah,
got a
man.
15
People don't
foot.
want to pay that though. Come
I already
on,
got a
man.
15-foot HDMI cord just in case I had gotten an NES Classic. I bought a
Yeah.
cord in advance and then never got it. But all right, let's talk about something not super important to us as gamers, but just good to see the Switch. Nintendo posted the end of June, so that's second quarter of the year, first half numbers for the Switch, and we hadn't heard anything since 2.5, whatever was the last thing we heard. Now they're saying 4.7.
Yeah.
Shipped to stores, which is sold because there's nothing sitting on the store shelves.
Right.
So 4.7, Zelda 3.8 or 9, Mario Kart 3.5. ARMS, I think, is the biggest, most pleasant thing about that was ARMS was like 1.2 million already.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like
That
2
was-
weeks, man.
That was only
That's-
2 weeks, So, probably the first 3 weeks of July got some good sales until Splatoon came out. So just overall, the reason I really want to talk about it is the Wii U was at like 3.94 million right before Mario Kart came out, Mario Kart 8 in May of 2014.
Yeah.
So that was a year and a half plus. And I remember the Xbox One hadn't quite passed it yet before that price drop.
Yeah.
They're both in the high threes. And we're like, Mario Kart 8's going to do it. You got
Mario Kart's gonna save Wii
you
U.
got Bayonetta, and then I think it did like 3 million the rest of the year, 3-4 million. And the fact that the Switch, what people said it was too expensive, $299 needs to be $249. Switch, probably easily over 5 million now because it's been another month tacked on with Splatoon 2. So to me, though, that's just, it's good, obviously, that it's doing well because, we don't got to worry about Nintendo working on their next system and announcing that next year. So in that way, it's good. The games, they're going to feel confident, but the game sales have been good. Street Fighter, which we'll talk about Capcom later, did like almost 500,000. Games are selling, the system's selling, accessories I'm sure are selling well. And it's good because that just means more confidence in developers and indies and these other companies for putting games on the system. And
But do you see that bias like that? That bias you just mentioned about, oh, $299 is too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like only Nintendo. It seems like only Nintendo can't price their console at $300 or more.
I know.
Like everybody else can do it. Like from the original PlayStation, they've never been cheaper than $300.
No, and
the N64 was more powerful than it. So it wasn't even, you can't even say it's that. GameCube, obviously. Like only Nintendo. Oh, that's too much for a Nintendo console. It's weird. But
because PlayStation, yeah, you're true. Like it's never been below $299 at launch. It's only been $299, $599, and
$599 at one point.
And it's like people were absolutely ridiculous to say it. Just think if this thing was $50 cheaper. Like the demand.
So it'd be negative shipments right now. Like, is it going to be any better? No. It's selling.
It should come with the game, it should come with 1-2 switch, and it's like it was. I have no regrets about the price of the system with the 2 Joy-Cons and the dock. Like to me, that was absolutely fair. Like, the Pro controller I think was a little pricey, but it's a good controller. But it's just funny that as soon as that price came out, it was doom and gloom again. It needs to be cheaper, and somebody hates it when I bring this up, but even what's her face from IGN was like, she's like, I kind of expected it to be $199 to $249. I would really liked it to have been $149. Like,
what planet?
Even say that. Like, even if you're just because you're broke, you work for IGN, you're gonna get the point.
Wow.
That's why she's broke, because she works for IGN.
She's a hot chick with an Australian accent. I'm sure some fanboy would give her one.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Alana.
On what planet, can you get a console that's, I don't know what the power is, but it's at least twice as powerful as a Wii U, no? Like, into that little form factor, with all that it does, with all the switching of the Joy-Cons and how in the world would that ever have been $149?
And what was the Vita at launch? $250?
It was $300.
Yeah, it was 3.
Oh yeah.
And it needed
people were like,
3DS was $250.
Yeah, because people were like, "Fuck you" when they saw that.
Yeah. Oh, and you got to buy those proprietary memory cards.
Oh
that
man.
were ridiculously priced.
Yeah,
and still are expensive as hell.
Yeah, they still are expensive.
And these dudes, you have no credibility if you complain about the Switch's price and not these things.
What I think is hilarious with the Switch's price is like all consoles that get released, like PlayStation, Xbox, etc. Like they launch and very soon after they go down in price.
Yeah.
But the Switch, it launched, and like I said over here, they fucking upped the price. Nobody cares because people still want it. Like they want it so bad. It is so popular. It is so hot. People don't give a fuck about the price anymore. They would pay it's like 30 extra euros now. It was 300. Now it's 330.
Well,
that's like $50 more than they just randomly upped it. You still can't find it.
You can thank that
nobody cares.
Xbox One X, and you can thank the PlayStation 4 Pro for the Switch price not going down anytime soon. Like it's not going to happen anytime soon.
And especially the demand, like Japan.
With obviously the demand, that's the biggest thing.
What did they have? 100. They did 100,000 in the Splatoon 2 launch.
Just like the Wii U, man.
They restocked the Switches, which I think we made predictions, and obviously manufacturing must have limited them. But they said that this week's going to even be a bigger restock. So,
That's cool.
They definitely put some effort in restocking Japan, but there was 3,000 people in line at a store that got 150.
Got 100 Switches, yeah. That is chaos.
It's almost to the point where they might as well stop shipping to the UK, period, and just take all those and send them back to Japan.
Seriously.
It's like I was surprised because I figured what Nintendo was doing is with Zelda, they were stocking the West a lot, and I figured they were holding back for Splatoon for Japan, so that when Splatoon launched, they had more units in Japan. But it's like I feel so sad for Japan. They still have enough. It feels like they have no Switches almost. There's these giant lines and lotteries, and people here are like crying over bullshit while they have the Switch in the house.
But Japan made up, I forget the number, well over 1 million Switches are just in Japan.
Over 1 million, yeah.
Which is
so they're getting really some. It's just not enough. And
well, they're selling out in like seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking to see if VG Charts had any, but they haven't updated since June 10th. So
They gotta get their shit together.
I was curious I don't know what Splatoon did in the U.S. I think they said
I'm pretty sure it's over $1 million.
There's like 600,000 in Japan, which I thought would be higher because if the pre-order numbers were right, I thought it would have been a lot higher. But I guess we'll find out if they ever reveal those numbers. But yeah, the sales. So to just everyone here, what does it mean to you as coming from the Wii U to know that the Switch is a success? The sales have been good. Game sales have been good. So what does that mean to you individually? Like Terrell, does it mean anything to you?
What it means to me is that we're gonna get Street Fighter 3 next year, and it's gonna stop. We're getting to that later. It's just cool.
Oh,
to
you're breaking
me,
up.
Really?
Yeah.
You're back.
Okay.
No, not back.
Really?
Save that thought.
No, we're only kidding, man.
I'll say the thought.
Retro, what does it mean to you, if anything? And you can take it any direction you want. This knowing that the Switch is successful at this point.
I have 2 points about it, I guess, a positive and a negative one. I feel the positive thing is that the fact that it's going so well, like on the Wii U, games already outselling most of the competition. Can you imagine on the Switch? It's gonna be crazy, and I feel this is gonna create a giant budget for Nintendo to do better and more games, and I think it's gonna be positive in that aspect. Like we're gonna get more out of it in the long run, I feel. And the sad part, I feel, is that the success of the Switch, and I think a lot of people are noticing that, especially you guys, I feel, it's creating this fucking sea of hypocrites on YouTube where all these people all of a sudden are like, I don't know what's going on in my mind. It's like I can't even describe how stupid it is, how people are just now becoming blind to what happened with the Wii U. Like, all of a sudden everything that was bad about the Wii U is okay now with the Switch, because you gotta face it, not many things have been fixed except for the fact that we have a really good first party lineup, but apart from that, not a lot of issues have been fixed. It's creating this sea of hypocrites. The success, it's like it's okay now to be cool, you know. It was cool to hate on the Wii U, but now there's no real excuse anymore. So a lot of people are like damage controlling all this bullshit. And yeah, I try to unsubscribe from a lot of people that do that shit, but I really start noticing like so many people are just like they're becoming blind to the rest.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
true.
I mean, some things haven't changed at all, and it's like, but it's
Some things got worse.
That's true. Terrell, let's check Terrell's mic. Let's see.
Right, testing.
Sounds
back.
good.
Go ahead, try.
We're good. Okay. So yeah, the cool thing is that, you know, this instills more faith in, I guess, third parties in general, that you know, it's not a console that's not going to sell and that is not going to have an install base, because that was like one of the biggest things with the Wii U. And it's cool because now people have less of an excuse. It's one of those things that, like, I think Nintendo fans have a damn checklist. And you're like, all right, you can't use the sales as an excuse anymore. You can't use the development costs as an excuse anymore. And then, like, you're just going down the list, and then the next 2 things are like fucking voice chat and fucking
cartridges.
And
Cartridges, man.
It's like you're having a fucking spazzing cartridges. So, it's good news. It just takes another thing off the list that people can't use as an excuse anymore. As a gamer, it won't really amount to much until at the very earliest, maybe the end of the year, but more than likely we won't really see the true results of this until like next year, where we start getting all those game announcements and all those extra things. I mean, we're still getting some of the smaller titles, like a whole bunch of indie games are still being pushed, like announced. I think there was like 3 or 4 of them announced just today. So it's cool, but I don't think we'll really see any results of it until for like another year or so.
And somebody made a good point in the chat. Like, remember all the people that wanted the NX to be basically a PlayStation and Xbox with Nintendo games?
Hey, what happened to them?
And now it's nothing like that, but as he put it, now our dick riding it like a blank, 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 or dot, dot, dot.
Like a bitch.
I mean, it is, you got to give some points to the Switch for being, because even I was skeptical at first. and the proof is in the pudding. Actually playing the system, I think, won a lot of people over that were skeptical. And just like we said, Nintendo doesn't do what you want them to do. They have a way of doing what they know is the best thing for you that you don't even know you want. Like
Right.
you wouldn't know you wanted this portable hybrid thing. I didn't want it.
Nope.
They didn't listen to what we wanted. They went ahead and thought beyond that to maybe what we needed and we didn't even know we wanted. So, I mean, to me, it's just proof again that back Nintendo into a corner, and they have amazing comeback. The only downside of this being a huge success in the long term is maybe they'll get cocky and do something stupid again the next generation or the one after, you know? Like, that's what happens. I think Sony did it with the PS3, made that huge mistake, and I think in long term speaking, like, the success of the Switch could have a negative impact on the next system if they get too comfortable and maybe just release a minor upgrade over another Switch or something.
Why doesn't that stop happening? It seems like that's what history is for, so we don't repeat stupid things and we just keep doing it over and over again.
I know, it's human nature.
When you see a lot of money in your face, I mean, I'm just saying, you tend to be like,
about all that cautiousness.
man, look at those dollar bills, though, man. Come on, man. Look at that green or that yen. I guess in Japan, I guess.
Yeah.
Still, that's a lot of shit. I mean, I get distracted sometimes.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, just the sales, it's nice. Like for what Terrell or other people said, is just the confidence, and you don't have to worry about 4 years from now you're not going to get, you know, games that's going to taper off as they're trying to find the next, you know, hardware that's going to bring them out of the hole they're in. You know, from that perspective, it's nice. Just knowing people that have Switches and they know what it is. Like, that's a huge change from the Wii U. Like, I still run into somebody just maybe a month ago, and he didn't know what the Wii U was called, but he knew the Switch immediately. So that, not having to deal with that on a personal level is nice, but everybody knows what the Switch is. It's not because it's the cool thing, and that's why I have it, and that's why I'm playing it. I was already going to play it, but not having to explain to people in really dumb ways what the system is you're playing. It seems small, but it's actually a bigger deal because it's just trying to explain the Wii U was such a hassle.
It's convoluted. It was very hard.
I just kept saying the HD Wii, the new HD Wii system. You know, I just gave up trying to say Wii U.
Yeah.
And
even that was inaccurate because it just didn't even come with a Wii remote. So,
but yeah, and just knowing that games are selling well, I wish Mario Kart 8 wasn't selling as well because
I know what you mean.
by Mario Kart.
that's going to surpass
You
Zelda.
say this as you own Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Huh?
That's gonna pass
next
Zelda
quarter,
pretty soon, probably.
The next quarter, it'll be ahead of Zelda.
Yeah.
The main problem I have with Mario Kart 8 selling well is if all the fucking Wii U ports keep selling well, we're gonna keep getting a lot more of those.
I think so. I mean, there's not that many more Nintendo,
and we're all to blame.
Could do because I don't think they're gonna.
I didn't buy the game, sir.
I still don't have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
I didn't buy that shit.
I had to have it because that's all my best friend wants to play, and
no, okay.
I probably put 10 to 15 hours.
Wait a minute, Pokken tournament now.
Hey, listen, I don't own the game.
You got blood on your hands too.
Listen, I didn't buy it yet. It ain't came
You
out.
haven't pre-ordered
Come
it
on.
yet?
No, I have not pre-ordered it. To be fair, I
Okay.
pre-ordered Odyssey, and I pre-ordered
I haven't
Sonic.
pre-ordered
That's it.
Odyssey yet.
I'm surprised.
Well, I'm doing the next game up. The next game.
I don't think
I pre-ordered
pre-order
because
that.
I keep getting these $5 off coupons about every third game I buy. So, not that I wouldn't pay full price for Odyssey, but if I can get it for $45,
Why not?
I would. You know, but yeah, overall, it's just a good feeling to not have to like be in damage control mode or Nintendo Defense Force mode all the
That
time.
just sounds depressing in its own way.
You know,
Damage
even though there is still some of that, there's still some people defending things.
You mean
but-
dick riding?
Yeah, I mean,
There's some Wii U elitists out there too that just won't won't let some stuff go.
I've heard there's been people now that's like people think that's like split fan bases, the Wii U, the 3DS, and the Switch. It's like, come on, people.
The Wii U fans have easily moved over to the Switch. There's some that still haven't gotten one.
No, I remember in this one commenter on this one YouTube video, he was telling me, he's like, why do you switch fanboys just let go that the 3DS is great?
Oh no, that's true. Yeah, that is very true.
About?
There are Switch separatists out there.
Well, that's Robert, because he hates the 3DS.
3DS separatists out there that will cut your head off and talk about how terrible the Switch library is compared to the 3DS. Well,
yeah,
no
it's
shit.
like
Yeah, but that's not a fair comparison.
I remember that.
That's what I'm like, what?
How are you a fanboy of separate systems under one company? Like, it's so bizarre.
It's
like
the same company. Let it go. Be happy. It doesn't make any sense.
It's like they're making money. We're getting games. What's the problem?
Right.
The 3DS is still getting games.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I forgot. Samus comes out like
it's getting new systems, man.
man. And then what was it? They announced 2 release dates today. Monster Hunter Stories comes out in September. What was the other game they talked about?
Good, but
Comes out where?
It comes out on the 3DS. They put out 2 trailers today. They put out Monster Hunter Stories.
Because that game actually looks interesting to me.
It does look good, but fuck Capcom, man.
And it comes out on the same. It comes out in the same month as Samus, and I'm like, come on, guys, y'all need to stop playing these fucking games. It's like, oh, here's a demo in August. I don't give a damn. The main game comes out in like a month, man.
I haven't even pre-ordered Samus Returns yet.
I pre-ordered the amiibo.
I did.
Fucking
I wanted to get the special edition from Walmart.
Oh right, Flip Wars comes out. I forgot about that. Flip Wars comes out this month too. Well, August, I mean.
Miami Takedown's coming soon too.
Yeah, Christ.
I can't handle it. My wallet is screaming.
And there's not time to play all these.
No.
Yeah,
Not really.
Meza T uploaded a video. Meza T is a beast at Splatoon 2.
I've been playing Splatoon 2 like crazy, you know? Which is a complete surprise to me. Like, I like Splatoon 1 a lot, but I tapered off and quit playing it after a while. I can't I'm like, I am super competitive. Like, I am playing Splatoon 2 way more top heavy, especially than I did 1. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a great game. It's a great game.
I put my time in the hero mode in the first game, but in this one, I'm really taking my time. I'm like really going through levels repeatedly and finding everything and enjoying every second of it. And like I said, I played rank mode on Saturday. I'm like, damn, I forgot that this is actually really fun. So, but anyway,
I haven't touched rank mode yet.
It's
You ain't ready.
But what were we talking about before that?
Oh yeah, what the price or the sales of Switch?
We felt like we were really on something. Oh, the 3DS stuff. Yeah, the Samus Returns coming out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, Yokai Watch 2. That's the other game they
Yokai Watch. Yeah.
Which I'm surprised they're still trying to push that in the States, considering the first game kind of
Ever Oasis is out there. I still want that.
Yeah,
but I will say that if you notice, a lot of those are this year. And I'm just gonna say that I do think the 3DS is on its way out.
Well, yeah, I mean that's obvious.
The point is that we still got like what, another 4 months of 2017
of a bunch of crazy random games. Yeah, I know. I don't know.
And I'm just like, come on, man! I only
nowhere.
got one job. Fuck y'all! I'm not gonna get a second one. You ain't gonna make me do
Yeah,
it.
I mean, out of nowhere they just do that. It's like, oh snap!
You can't ignore the install base, man. What is it, 70 million? You can't ignore that. You can't ignore that at all.
They eventually gonna though. They eventually gonna.
They're gonna have to at some point. The sales are already starting to drop off already as far as the game sales and the consoles.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how much. I'm actually really interested to see how much Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun will sell. Yeah,
that's the other thing I'm confused about. They've been insanely quiet about that game, considering that game comes out like in this year. I don't understand what.
It is true.
I don't understand what the fuck Game Freak is over there doing. They're like, oh, we got a new Pokemon game coming out on Switch. And
they printing too much money with that damn Pokemon Go. That's why.
Well, I don't know if you heard about that Go Fest they had.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they didn't make money though.
No,
they're still making money.
I'm just talking about the game, the app itself. I mean,
they refunded money on that one.
I mean, it was a big fad. People, when stuff started being a fad, people don't care anymore. But the core people are still playing the thing.
Well, if you go into top grossing, it's still like number 7.
Well, I think even Fire Emblem Heroes has been making money.
And Fire Emblem Heroes, Heroes making money too. So Like they're making money everywhere, man.
Yeah.
And that is good. Is like you said, is bad in some ways because
sooner or later
Mario
you're
Kart
gonna...
9.
Oh yeah.
You know, when I see it to the next console, but
Oh,
it's
please.
good
They'll
because
put out like 3 of them on the Switch.
And you know
we need a
how
healthy Nintendo, and I think my favorite thing about it is, yeah, obviously the system sales is great and all that, but I'm so happy that first of all Splatoon is doing so well, but ARMS, yo, like that will give them confidence to do more stuff like that when they sell ARMS that well, you know.
Let's be real, that shit blew people away because we were sitting there going, well, ARMS already didn't have like the same amount of hype as Splatoon did when it first came out. And then you look at the stats and you're like, wait a minute, it sold over 1 million in 2 weeks? What the fuck?
Like, yeah, I mean, that's just like, I would like to think it's the game, but is it the console hype as well that's helping these things?
I think it's both. I think it's both.
It's got to be a combination of both. So it's great. I mean, it's over 5 million easily right now. I mean, 5 million in what, 5 months? That's disgusting.
and then also think about it. Each of these games are getting second lives because think about it. Zelda will boost back up because of the second half of the DLC that's coming out. ARMS and Splatoon 2 are both getting consistent updates, which will probably lead into at least the end of this year, if not longer. And then you got Pokken Tournament that comes out in September, another online game, Mario in October. Most of these games are just fucking. Mario Kart will always fucking.
And Mario Kart's going to sell consistently every freaking
it's
month.
It's like even the games that we're already done with are coming right back around.
Yeah. Remember Mario Kart Wii did like 400,000 copies during the Wii U? It was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Like
there's a software, there's a firmware update for the Switch out right now. If anybody,
why you do this?
Every time it seems like this happens on a Monday all the time.
Yeah, it does.
It's not very big because it's already like 30 seconds in and it's at 25%.
Yeah, but see,
Party chat. Oh shit. No.
But Monster Hunter Stories, like you mentioned that game looks ridiculously good. Like, how is this
really
running on 3DS?
Yeah.
How the fuck is this on 3DS?
Think about it, that game was made like a year ago. It's not even like they just made that game.
Yeah,
why is this not on the Switch?
Well,
see, that's why the 3DS guys don't like us. Why is this? You want everything on the Switch now?
Well, be fair, I think I was complaining about it not being told that we were localizing it until like fucking what was that? Like early this year, we found out. Oh yeah, we are getting Monster Hunter Stories, and the game was out for like what 6 months before we even found it out.
There's not enough time in my life for all these games.
No, I don't have enough money or time. It's
All
like
right,
people, we got
This
jobs
is on
and
the Nintendo
shit.
side too. This is just like, wow.
Oh, apparently it fixes a battery problem, that firmware.
Oh.
In which the remaining battery charge is not displayed accurately.
That's it.
I don't know. Let's see.
I never got to that point, so
That's it. Where's our voice chat?
I've only hit low battery once playing in handheld.
I think I hit it once too. Yeah, I think I hit it once or twice.
I hit it first. Sorry, I had it too.
Ray J will be mad. Ray J will just.
So what do you guys see? Where do you see the Switch sales by December 31st, 2017?
10.
December of 2017.
I would think it'd be at
December 31st. When they announce it in January that they're. Sorry, I got to turn that on.
I'm gonna say that it's gonna surpass the Wii U by then.
I mean, I think that
take into account there's several months to still make more Switches. And fucking Mario is gonna come out. If in 5 months it could go to 5 million, give it like 5 more months, it's gonna surpass the Wii U. I think at that point.
I think
I'm gonna be a little bit more conservative. I'm gonna give it like 11.5.
Yeah, I was thinking between 11 and 12, so it puts me right there.
I'm a little bold and say 10. I'm gonna say 10 personally.
I was thinking about this. I mean, I was kind of thinking 10, but then again, we still got a while and holidays. Yeah,
because we only know the June numbers. We don't even know what July did.
That's true. That's true.
With the Wii U did like a couple million over the holidays from like September to the end of the year. So the Switch probably could do 5 if there's. I think their manufacturing situation is going to start to pay off where they up the production. I think this month in August we're gonna really start seeing it. So
If it wasn't for Apple, that shit would be over Wii U sales.
I
by
told
now.
you, Apple's the root of all evil, man. Apple's the root of all evil.
I wonder where it'd be right now if there wasn't any supply issues.
Oh my gosh.
I'd say 7 right now.
Right now, it would have already hit 7 billion.
Yeah, so I'll say 11. I'll just stick. Not that we're gonna remember these numbers back, 6 months from now, but
It's not like we're recording this or anything.
no. we make a lot of predictions and then we never go back and see what.
Unless we remember them, no, we do not go back.
Well, mine's easy, like I said. I really think it's gonna do better than the Wii U after, because you gotta take into account Mario is not launching like before Christmas. It's launching
it's
2
October.
months before
It's
that.
October.
Every fucking body is gonna buy this thing for Christmas. Mario, that's a perfect fucking Christmas gift. Everybody's gonna buy this shit.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
That is
I don't
true.
know.
And somebody in the chat made a point. We're talking about the confidence of the Switch selling, and we haven't heard since that one report from the stupid Titanfall guy, who that was like after the Switch was shown and not even really revealed. We haven't really heard developers making excuses at this point.
We've actually heard the opposite in a lot of situations. We've
So,
heard about more support.
How's those Titanfall 2 sales going for you, bro?
Yeah.
I hear it was a good game, but
Yeah, here's a good game, but no
I
one
hear
cares.
Mhm.
Oh no, we gotta chill out.
It makes you wonder if they actually brought that game, Titanfall 2, how well it would have sold on Switch.
Right.
it probably would have been.
It would have been the best selling platform,
It
probably.
might have. I wouldn't say. It's
See, now I'm curious
impossible.
what the sales are currently for it.
I don't think very
I'm
high.
gonna guess around 3.
I like how that's low. That's low
Well,
balling.
on 3 different platforms. That's pretty.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
three,
it's on PC. I forgot.
Yeah, guys, 3. I have it on PC. How did I forget?
Well, then why? Because you haven't been playing it. That's why.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Anybody looking it up?
Yeah.
I'll look it up if nobody already.
I got your gameplay playing on my second screen.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Commentate.
Hour and 8 minutes of T wrecking people probably.
No, he loses some
I wasn't
matches.
really
man.
wrecking people.
Yeah, he
There
was
was some
demolishing,
moments
man.
where I was
Demolishing.
going through people, but I'm all over the place. I love.
And of course,
Man, I don't know what y'all talking about when y'all talking about y'all ain't feeling these motion controls, because I can't. That Twitch, you can't. I can't rock without that Twitch in Splatoon 2. So
You know what's funny though for me? Like when I get in a panic situation or like get surprised,
yeah,
I stop using the right stick to turn and I start using motion, which I don't use any other time, and I end up fucking like it's not my comfort zone. I don't know why I do it. I do it all the time.
Oh, really?
It's like just do what you do. Like use the right stick to turn and a little fine
What's
adjustment.
the worst is you're not gonna really die in real life. Just calm down.
But
He's scaring himself. That's what it is.
I always felt like it. Like when people are moving, I can't keep up with them or something. So I tried using that, and it's like I'm stuck in a bad habit now. But it's not terrible. I still do all right, but
Titanfall 2 seems to be around, I would say, a little less than 3 million.
total.
Oh,
Yeah, between all 3 platforms.
yeah, I'm looking at it too.
PS4 is 1.3, Xbox One is 1.14.
What's PC?
PC is like 170,000.
Well, that's also physical copies. I mean, I bought a physical copy.
I know, is you added to the fuckery, but yeah, that's
It's hard to track the digital on that.
I probably would
PC
argue it's
side,
probably
especially.
around maybe 3,
Yeah, I would
Around
think
three.
digital it's got to be.
So I was
more.
right.
which is
Okay.
Boom.
pretty weak considering the game's a year old at this point.
I wonder
Oh,
if,
that's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, well, they literally wasn't it Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, then Call of Duty, like all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put it out like at the worst time, I think.
they put
That's-
Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 within a couple weeks of each other.
Which is so
They
fucking
pulled an
stupid.
Ubisoft, man. Ubisoft did that to my beloved Beyond Good and Evil, putting it next to Prince of Persia and shit. Like, really? Like, why'd you do that?
Hey man, listen, we all take L's sometimes. Some
Yeah.
people take it harder than others.
When just getting back to the thing being a success, companies are going to be like, wow, we got to get games out. Like who's going to be the first one to put a major multi-plat that's 50, 60 gigs on PS4, Xbox One? What's going to be the first game that they're going to say they're going to make it work on the Switch?
You mean a game that we don't already know about?
Yeah, like a new game. It'd be
like Call of Duty, which we know is getting up to the 100 gig fucking range with.
I would probably guess Ubisoft first.
Yeah, I think Ubisoft.
Yeah, I think it'll be Ubisoft first.
Because Ubisoft seems to be a lot more open to throwing games on the system.
You think they could just decide to throw Assassin's Creed or something like that on there? Or?
Yeah, not this one though. The next one.
I mean, we already got like three. We already got 3 Ubisoft games for the rest of this year. Granted, 2 of them are fucking ports and they're old ports. But
what's the
something?
There's something because it's steep. It's steep in Rayman, and then we have Mario and Rabbids.
Mario and
Rabbids being the only new game.
Yeah.
Fucking. And they're gonna charge $40 for Rayman Legends, and people are in the back like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You can get this game for $20 right now. Are you fucking joking?"
I'm actually surprised.
It shouldn't be no more than $30 on Switch.
Well, it's literally been on everything. It's not even like it's new to Nintendo fans.
But it hasn't sold amazing. It hasn't sold amazing and everything. I think that's why.
I think it's sold like around 300,000 copies consistently between platforms.
Yeah, and watch the.
Well, because it's a 2D platformer, and we were all in this, Yeah,
to be fair, because when they put out the original Rayman Legends, it came out like right next to Mario. Like Mario and Sonic had games coming out like around the same time.
Yeah.
And all
look at Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Like that is a stellar game, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it, obviously the Wii being on the Wii U didn't help, but I think a lot of it, as far as the sales go, has to do with people just kind of over the 2D platformers.
I'm kind of craving. The Switch doesn't have one.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I mean, it might in indie games and stuff, but if I didn't already have Rayman Legends, like a good 2D platform, like a big, like a non-indie game that's a 2D platformer.
Rayman Legends, right now we don't have one.
We'll be the first one.
Everybody's fucking bitching with the Wii U, so not like, fine, you don't want 2D platformers? We're not giving you one.
We're getting it.
That's because they oversaturated us so heavy.
Kirby and Yoshi next year.
Yeah.
So
2 of them next year.
They just need to fucking space them out better because it was so bad near like the first year of the Wii U. We had like 3 or 4 platformers coming out like within months of each other.
I didn't mind it because I love the platform.
It didn't bother me, but
I didn't mind it because we didn't have any games. That was the reason.
Oh, no, I don't mind either. And people seem to forget that like 80% of Nintendo's franchises are fucking platformers.
Nintendo started out the platformer company. Like that's what they do. That is their thing. Like, so I don't understand.
A new Mario game? What the fuck is this? A platformer? I want a new Kirby game. New Kirby comes. What the fuck is this? Another platformer? It's every time the same thing.
They tried a shooter. They tried Radar Scope. It was garbage, complete garbage. Miyamoto had to come in and save it and flip it and make it into Donkey Kong. And obviously Donkey Kong was a huge success. So that was their beginning. They had Donkey Kong and then Popeye. Those are platformers. And then Mario Brothers, obviously. So that's what they do.
What I want to do for another Donkey Kong Country, like Unreal Engine 4, so like Yoshi, and have that.
Fuck yes.
People don't. I'll put it this way: Donkey Kong is like that franchise. People just don't want to see it all anytime soon. I've learned that. Donkey Kong and Yoshi specifically, Yoshi kind of gets more of a pass because.
Well, Yoshi was more recent though. Like we just got Woolly World, so I would have rather had Donkey Kong myself. But Yoshi looks amazing. Especially
I'm surprised how good that game looks.
On the treehouse, that gameplay.
Even if you get like an HD, like what they just did with Crash, like just redo those all in like Unreal Engine 4. Those
the first 3.
That would be disgusting. Oh yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be. And Crash sold pretty well, especially in
Crash sold really well because UK they buy Crash, Call of Duty, and FIFA.
Europeans have like the weirdest taste in gaming. It confuses the shit out of me.
It's so strange.
And Sony can raise the price of PSN 25%, and then they don't even care.
What was that? Can we talk? Why the fuck did that happen? I don't understand.
Because they can.
Because they know they can. Because that whole region is just riding their Sony dick, man. Other than France.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what was the reason for the upcharge? Just for the fuck of it?
Sony's making terrible movies, and they need to re-up.
Oh yeah, they just made another one. Didn't they do the Emoji movie? Was that?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
They need the PlayStation to save them because they have terrible production in film right now.
Passengers didn't do what? It's like what?
They did Smurfs.
Yeah, they.
No, New Smurf was fine. It was the other first ones they did that were bad.
Ratchet and Stank.
No. That was, I thought it was,
No, I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it stunk. It bombed.
Yeah,
that was a
most
straight to
oh,
DVD
it did
type
bomb
movie.
though. It did
Yeah.
only like 9 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a straight to DVD movie. That was never supposed to be a theater movie.
Well, I heard people who were fans of Ratchet and Clank really did not like the direction they went with that movie in general. So like, I don't think people thought it was a good movie either.
Why?
And now I'm worried about the Dark Tower. So
That
Oh,
don't fit at all.
please.
That's this week.
Hey, welcome to the movie podcast, everybody.
Yeah.
yeah, we ain't gonna go into that. But back on, like I don't think I.
They got Spider-Man.
I think I did. What I want for the Switch though, I want it, and it's getting stuff like that here and there. I want it to be like a portable PC Lite. I'm not talking about power. I'm talking about the style of games and stuff like Siberia is coming. There's a lot of games coming for the Switch that people don't even or have already forgotten about. Siberia, I'm so looking forward to that. So
I'm waiting for Pocket Runner.
Where's Runner
Where's
3?
that at?
huh?
Runner 3 got a release month,
Runner
year?
3. I mean, no. There's stuff that's coming. That's just like you think your wallet crying now. Like your wallet and your time is gonna be gone.
I ain't got no time, man. Fuck time.
Well, it's already
And then
gone.
you gotta, where am I gonna put all these damn cartridges?
You got no
Yeah, man,
room,
that's why
man.
you buy digital, dude.
They're small, but
You gotta get a big SD card. What it take up to what?
It takes us to like
200 something gigs or terabyte. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Take up to a terabyte?
it takes up to a terabyte, but there is no terabyte.
Terabyte card, SD card.
It takes
I wish
up
I could
imaginary
install-
cards.
I wish I could install off the cartridge and have it.
yeah,
Yeah, because
that would be beautiful.
benefit, right?
I loved OJ's video. He put in Overwatch. Hadn't played it in a while, and had like a 23 gig in update.
That shit was stupid.
It's like should just set it to update automatically, but still, that's
Well, you do that, and you run the risk of getting what I had, which is the error. I had
true.
to I had to delete everything and install everything, and that was a pain in the ass. And that was one of the side effects of what do you call that install? The automatic install.
The automatic.
Yeah,
I really
I-
think console game is gonna have to change. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way we can keep doing this
Can't
shit.
sustain
You can't
200 gig games. We can't go to that route. That's just
Yeah, like
nonsense.
it's because the fucking industry is trying to outperform itself, and it hasn't even gotten the basics down.
Yeah.
Like we're sitting there putting out fucking HD 1080p or 900p games that can't even reach 60 frames, but we thought, oh,
4K now. Like
yeah, what the fuck? How you going to 4K? You ain't even got 1080p down.
we
Where
haven't
you
got
going?
1080p. We haven't got a consistent 1080p 60 frame era yet.
It's like you about to go run
Yeah.
on glass and you wearing like sandals and shit. What the fuck are you doing? Come back and get your
Well,
shit.
they act like. Do you remember Microsoft? They were showing how it says in 2013 or whatever we conquered 1080p.
Yeah, I
or
remember
something like
that.
No, you didn't. Like, what are you talking about?
We
Yeah, that's
conquered
the-
upscaling.
In
They
what
did the
way?
timeline. Yeah, they did the timeline of resolutions, and they put 1080p under 2013.
Are you joking?
That's the biggest joke because Microsoft go way faster than they should. Like at first
What?
Microsoft couldn't do 1080 60, and now they can't do 4K 60. Like they keep going for things
Go
that
back
they
to
can't
1080.
do.
I think Forza is like the only game they have that can kind
And
of.
Well,
they
that's
could
why they
do
keep
it.
showing it off.
They could do it, but they keep push. They don't just push the resolution; they're pushing the freaking everything else so far beyond. Like that's what's happening with. We
They're
said,
overachieving.
you know,
Because they want to be ahead of Sony. That's why.
the last
Dude, the
gener-
fucking magical liquid cooling shit it can do
Well,
60.
I tell you what, I remember when I went to E3, right? They had this Xbox One X experience, and so you go inside this room, and it was real. You know, they showed this TV. It was all nice, and it had the Xbox One X there, and it showed. They were talking about everything to have the perfect Xbox One X experience, and that's the Xbox One X, the 4K TV, Dolby Atmos surround sound setup,
Oh my god!
and I'm not even joking. It was all
$10,000 later.
yeah, and I'm like, this is literally you're talking about like a $2,000-$3,000 setup. Like, what are you doing? Like that is
Well,
it's ridiculous.
a Dolby Atmos, a good Dolby Atmos setup. If you got a big room, you'd need you don't even need it in small rooms. All it does is add ceiling speakers. But if you're gonna run good speakers, a good receiver, like you're already at $5,000 right there.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
my
Unless you want to, like, if you want to do, you can do Atmos with small satellite speakers, and you can
throw on the console. That's
because you know what
yeah.
they were showing. They were showing they had some guys from Mojang. They said, "Here's Minecraft in 4K." They were showing off the super duper pack, and then they showed off Gears of War, and then Forza. And I'm like, yeah, it looks nice and all, but it's like, do you really need all this just to play your game? Like,
and let's take the time to talk about how Digital Foundry has been kind of on the Switch, like positive lately. With they said it's their favorite 60 FPS machine, non-PC machine. Like it's the go-to. And they listed all the how many titles run at 60, and they still look good. Obviously, they're not going for as much, realism or whatever. But and even Splatoon 2 has to drop to a weird ass resolution, like
860p or
something, yeah, 884p or something.
Yeah.
But dude, I like the fact that they have an
I have no problem with that.
resolution though.
Yeah,
the fact
care
that it
more
adapts,
about
then
Right.
they can keep the frame rate consistent.
And I mean,
the game still looks gorgeous.
yeah,
Come on.
it's great. But when you see, like, when you boot the game up and you're in the square, I don't like. I always forget that that's actually the game, because as soon as you hit the button, it like the camera pans down to your character. Like that's what Switch could do with a 30 frame lock from a game like Splatoon using that art style. How good does that square look versus like a PS4 game at 30, which like Uncharted looks phenomenal, but what is a 60 FPS PS4 game? What would that look like? We don't know, because not even Ratchet and Clank, or not Ratchet and Clank's 30, and so was the Crash remaster.
You know what pissed people off about that? The old Ratchet and Clank games used to all run at 60.
Except for the
the old Ratchet and Clank ran at 60.
So it's a fucking downgrade. I think same thing with Crash too.
Still seems like it still plays all right. It's locked, 30, but
yeah,
I'm just wondering what
Crash, I think, was always 30.
Okay.
Crash was 60,
they bumped it up on the PS2 to 60.
Yeah, they did on PS2. That's right.
But what would a PS4 game? What would these PS4 games look like, locked 60? And what could Nintendo squeeze out of like Mario Odyssey with a lock 30? It'd be curious to see how close the two get.
Yeah,
visually, but Nintendo's like doing 60, so you're comparing the Switch, obviously less power, portable system, on screen it looks great, on your TV it looks good. You're comparing a lesser system, but they're targeting 60, so right there they're already cutting way back, and a lot of these PS4 games are targeting 30, like Horizon and Uncharted and Ratchet and Clank. So you're not really getting a fair comparison. You'd have to see like a 60 FPS game on PS4 is like Resident Evil 7, which doesn't really look that impressive.
No.
So I'd be curious what these like Horizon would look like with a 60 FPS engine running on the baseline PS4.
That's what I think is the funniest, even when you have people like Xbox or something and they have their 4K fucking Scorpio that does 30 FPS, and then they laugh at the Switch. I'm like, dude, you call it a handheld. You don't want to call it a console, but my fucking handheld has more frames than your 4K system.
And could you imagine like Horizon with a Breath of the Wild art style? Oh my god!
It would be
gorgeous.
Well, you know what the sad thing about it is? Seeing that the Switch can do it tells me that the PS4 could do 60 with a different art style, and they just refuse to do it because they want to keep
that, and they got to scale back. Like I said, they can't. Their generational leaps, the last two, have been, instead of just trying to, and even with the game, going from GameCube to the game, from N64 and then GameCube to the 360 era, I noticed I'm like, instead of just making like the resolution bump and going to HD, they also try to push this ridiculous amount of stuff on screen, is fill out the environments and make more foliage and make more advanced lighting, which is nice, but then you end up being forced to go to 30 frames per second, go into the lower resolutions, instead of like what Nintendo seems to do is, hey, we're going to scale back. We're not going to have anti-aliasing, which to me is not worth having if it's going to affect a game
lock down everything
by half the frame rate, because it's not even noticeable in Splatoon or Mario Kart, it's a little bit. If you
It's
really
kind of
look.
noticeable, but to me, it's not.
I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen an example of it in Splatoon while
It's
playing.
not worth the damage.
I've seen
And
it in
it's like,
single player. I haven't seen it in multiplayer.
Just scale back. Don't try to go so far. Don't take like Horizon to such realistic places and make, go with art style and different tactics and see what happens with a 60 frames per second or a locked 1080p.
They can't, man. At this point, they groom their consumers on hyper realism. I was listening to a podcast. I'm not going to tell you what it is if you already figure it out. I was listening to a podcast of Xbox guys. It's just complaining about is it Crackdown? Yeah, Crackdown 3 visuals. And I'm like,
well, to be fair, Crackdown 3 does not look good, in my opinion.
No,
I don't think it does.
It's not supposed to like.
But yes, it's not
like
supposed to.
Like it's not supposed
but look at what it's doing. Like, look at the I think it's only in multiplayer though, with the destructible world. Like everything is destructible in that.
Why is
And
it
if you
only
had
multiplayer? Sorry.
If you had like a realistic art or realistic kind of art design, you probably couldn't do that kind of stuff. Like, but you groom these guys on like movie looking games, and that's all they want. They wouldn't accept anything else.
Well, you know why? Because if you get the other type of games, it ends up like Nintendo. It looks too close to Nintendo games.
Yeah, it's too. That's some Nintendo shit. That's that kiddie shit.
And we can't have that kind of life.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely true though, because Crackdown, I'm watching some gameplay right now. It definitely doesn't fit the Xbox.
But this is the third one. It's been on Xbox for the first two.
The sad part is, and you create this hyper-realistic world, like for example Horizon, and we remember those videos with Zelda. Like you have a hyper-realistic looking world, but it's a concrete world. Like nothing moves, nothing interactable. There's no like weather system or something like Horizon. Like I don't want it to look a bit nice. I want you to fucking climb a rock and cut a tree, and it's like a realistic world, but it's dead.
Oh, so quick random side note I found looking on Twitter. Apparently, someone posted like the most wished for things in the video game section of Amazon, and people noted the one thing that trips that there is no Xbox stuff at all in that at all. It's like primarily Nintendo Switches, Crash, and like PlayStation 4 and Horizon and Mario. Like.
And Xbox's install base is nothing to scoff at. It's 30 million plus.
Yeah,
but it's a bunch. It's full of a bunch of people.
That makes it sadder.
But the problem is, it's full of like gamers who literally play like the same types of games.
That's true.
It's not like a diverse.
They're not diverse. Yeah,
it's not a diverse fan base, which is Xbox's fault because they never went out of their way to try to get them to play other games. They keep doing this shit where they don't make games. They want to fucking play this game of, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go. Hey, look at this third-party game. We got this third-party game that you can get on this other console, but we're not gonna tell you that.
And to me, it's so sad because the original Xbox was super diverse. You had Sega, especially in the beginning. You had all these weird kind of stuff that you wouldn't see anywhere today, especially. But then you had like, Rare was actually still making games, and they're coming back to it now finally. But you had crazy platformers and all kinds of stuff, like the Blinks the Time Sweeper series and Psychonauts, all this crazy stuff that used to be on Xbox, and they devolved.
Hey man, we're getting Psychonauts too, though. T, come on, man, get
it.
That will always be a running joke.
It's their own fault. They just devolved.
Oh, you want to know something really funny? I follow Nia on Twitch, and what is she playing right now? Titanfall 2.
Yeah, she likes Titanfall. She was on a podcast recently.
So what do you guys think Amazon's bestsellers so far in 2017, top 10? Well, a lot of them's those PlayStation Store cards.
PlayStation cards, because nobody wants to put their information on PSN.
So let's just say in the top 10, there's games. There's like there's only 3 games. There's 2 systems. So number 1 and 2 are $20 and $10 card. Number 3 bestseller on Amazon so far in 2017, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 5, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 6, the Switch. Number 7, Horizon, which must have sold pretty well. And then the PS4 Slim Uncharted bundle, which has been $200 to $250. And then an Xbox controller is number 14. That's the only.
I like how the controller sells more than the console.
You can, you can customize them now.
And it works with PC. It won't give me the price because I'm not a Prime member. But it's just crazy that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is.
That is.
Nintendo's.
I'm not surprised with that. Mario Kart is one of those franchises that will always sell at this point.
I mean, it's a good iteration.
That's right. The franchise of Mario Kart 8. Got him.
Mario Kart 8 2. When we getting that?
I want my remake, damn it.
Oh, man.
I want to play Mario Kart in 4K. Why can't I play it in 4K?
Right?
Since we're
20 frames per second. Let's go.
I know it. I want my VR headset on.
We're having fun and laughing. It might be time to talk about Capcom and their Switch support.
Bring it down.
I think this is actually what I was looking forward to.
What
So
Switch support?
they had an investor meeting, just like Nintendo, where we talk about those numbers, and they said Street Fighter 450,000 shipped to stores. I think it was, or was it sold? That might have been digital, including digital. I think. So reiterate. More Switch games coming. I should have the exact quote.
Well, they actually said they're now working on Switch versions of games.
Yeah, that's what it was. Multiple Switch versions of games. So ports of games that are probably already out or coming out.
Yeah.
So, some people like to think that that's complete, like, not justification, like proves their
justification
point.
is the word.
Well, there's another word, vindicated.
Yeah.
Some people feel vindicated because I think everyone here, including Retro Death for sure, was pretty hard on the lack of third-party games being announced at E3, especially Capcom. I think we all made videos. I made a video specifically pointing out, or should I say, specifically pointing out Capcom because of all this. Well, we were there they talked Nintendo into bumping up the RAM. They're getting the Resident Evil RE engine working. They're this and that. And the only thing we have to show for it is Ultra Street Fighter 2 and the Japanese port of Monster Hunter Double Cross, not even a Western version of it. That's it.
Actually, and what trips me out about this is like, wait a minute, Square Enix announced the Western release of Dragon Quest before we got a Western release announcement of Monster Hunter.
I mean,
what the fuck?
Yeah, like it's not the fact that.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go. Finish your thought.
No, because it pissed me off because I'm like, and people got to realize why that's a ridiculous comparison. Dragon Quest X is on the Wii U in Japan, and we never got it in the States. And Dragon Quest went through this weird long period of just being dormant on Nintendo systems until we got the remakes of, I think, what is it, 7 and 8 on the 3DS. So you're like, you're sitting there going, I don't expect them to put that shit out. And then we get an announcement. We got that this weekend, didn't we? It was like a few days ago. We got that whole announcement of, Dragon Quest 11's coming out in the West. We don't know what platforms, but more than likely, I'm banking at least 3DS, if not Switch. All right. But the point is,
Switch.
we got that fucking announcement, and we were sitting over here with fucking Capcom, who's been making money off the Monster Hunter fans in the U.S. since like what? Since like the beginning of the Wii U era,
right?
And it's like, guys, announce the fucking game.
Well, here's the quote. It said, "Preparing Switch versions of games. Preparing, not like already in development, about to announce." It's
I know.
Preparing. So does that tell you that does not say, "Hey, we've been working on games and we're just not going to announce them. We're working on games. We've been there from the ground or day one with the Switch, and we're going to have support." That tells me they were waiting to see what Street Fighter 2 was going to sell.
Which is stupid.
Remember that rumor that's what, and people got all bent out of shape, and it's like, no, that's stupid. Why would they wait on Street Fighter, some 25-year-old game, to see how that sells? That's not a good barometer. Well, apparently that's what it looks like they were doing. Was waiting on Street Fighter.
Some people
sales.
think that this means now we're gonna get Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil 8 and shit, What I hear when I read this is like, you have all these guys in suits, they're sitting on a table, they have like these games in front of them, They have like what Terrell said, Street Fighter 3, They have a DuckTales remastered and a NES collection. Like, okay, which one will we give them? That's what this is. That's what it sounds like.
What's going to be our next experiment? There's no confidence.
It's going to be that Disney game.
Yeah, the Disney afternoon.
Yeah, it'll be Disney afternoon.
Man, they're gonna eat a bag of dicks on that one. Also, just to kind of reiterate, because Resident Evil 7 to me wouldn't be a huge shock to me. What pisses me off is that right now Capcom's game lineup that we know about, the only game that's actually sold well this year so far is fucking Resident Evil 7, because no one's running around talking positively about Capcom, Marvel's Capcom Infinite. People are like, oh man, what you had the Dragon Ball Z game came out.
Look at the last one. There's nothing to be excited about.
Capcom doesn't have the best reputation. The only reason Monster Hunter is really like the only franchise I think Nintendo fans might. Well, I'm not gonna say that. It's the only franchise right now that's consistently been okay with. And
it's due for an update too.
So are we gonna get a confirmation for Monster Hunter Worlds? Is that what we're gonna get? Is that the big switch?
If we did, then
that's the thing though. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, I gotta have all these Capcom games, because if I wanted them, I'd buy them on another console.
I'd rather have games by Capcom than Capcom like ports. I don't need none of the games coming out right now. I'm not like, man, I really want that on.
The only reason I even care about any of this is because what we said. Oh, they talk Nintendo and they're putting more RAM in, and they're working on this engine, that Resident Evil, and that's the only reason I even said anything. I'm not clamoring for Capcom games.
No, me neither.
Not in the last 10, 12 years probably have I been clamoring for Capcom games. So that wasn't it. It was the sake of the argument of, oh, they're doing all this stuff that we don't see. Like, a lot of this stuff is speculation. I haven't seen any hard concrete. This is all based on speculation. Well, this must be happening. This is a plan. Like, where? Show me the proof of this plan. But I don't see it. I don't see how Konami
announce too many games at once. I mean, that's what people say.
Right. Yeah, like,
something.
Like, here's the thing. It's like,
they haven't announced shit. That's the problem.
You either put out nothing or you put out way too much at one time. Like, there's no middle ground. Like, you can't announce a couple of games. It has to be, it has to be the Wii U situation where you either put out a bunch of bad ports or no games at all. Like, it can't be a couple of good ports.
Well, we only got
that's not an option.
I'm gonna say when it came to Capcom, we only got 2 games, right? It was Resident Evil Revelations and Monster Hunter, right?
Right.
Yeah.
See, that was fucking stupid. They did the same thing they're doing with the Switch. People were like, "Oh, why are they putting out a port of Monster Hunter Double Cross?" Well, they put out a Monster Hunter port on the Wii U, and people were fucking ecstatic as shit about that one.
What? I mean,
I made a great point though about. Because people, basically, the argument is, they're waiting for the install base to grow or whatever. Well, there was a Nintendo console with a amazing install base called the Wii, and Capcom barely put anything on that console.
Yeah.
So why should I have any confidence they're going to do anything different now?
And what games are even out there that they could be preparing Switch versions of?
The game that would make the most sense is Marvel vs. Capcom, because you just sold money. You just got money off a fighting game. So it makes sense to put out another fighting game, since there are fighting game fans on the Switch. True. But knowing them, they probably won't. Even if it comes out, it won't come out until next year.
When does it come out for the other systems?
It comes out like a few months. It comes out like September.
Months. Yeah,
it's like really early, and people are like, "Man, is that game really done?" I'm saying, like, people. We looked at that shit and went, "No, I don't know."
Street Fighter 5, you should be worried.
Yeah, that's the other problem.
That's another game. Maybe the
I
exclusive deal ran out with the PS4. I mean,
who gonna go out and buy that?
Yeah, I don't really.
I know it's a lot better now, but it left a bad taste in people's mouths. Nobody's gonna be clamoring for it.
Well, they'll also be lying to the PlayStation fans, because they say, "Oh, we're not gonna do an Ultimate Edition, or we're not gonna do all that other shit." Well, that's what you have to do.
Come on,
Game of the Year edition. I think the most likely, other than Marvel vs. Capcom, is Resident Evil 7 Game of the Year edition, which a game I own that I never would want to play again. I can't say it's terrible. I mean, it's a decent game, and I think a lot of people would actually like it. The horror aspects, I mean, the first-person perspective and how slow it moves, even though it's 60 frames per second. Some people liked it more than others. I thought it was okay. The biggest problem I had with the PS4 version was the 3 to 4 minute load times if you backed out of the game.
Oh my god!
But I would say, and you could do some interesting stuff with the Joy-Cons with that game.
I would say to me that would have the most impact, at least for headlines.
Yeah.
And it's
Put it out in Halloween.
if they could have, I mean, if they were working on it and could get it out, and how that would
They're not gonna
that
get
would
that
make
nice.
sense. But
if they're just
That
starting,
would be
away,
a plan that
Yeah.
made sense.
well, if they have the, if they've been, if I mean, that's the things Capcom said. They said this months ago they were trying to getting the RE engine running on the Switch. So if they have that, then it's, I mean, it's possible, but why not announce it? What are you waiting for?
well, that's what I'm saying because I don't think it's a thing. That's why I'm saying it. Like
Yeah.
even if we get the game, we're not getting it this year. Yeah, I bet the same thing with Marvel vs. Capcom. We wouldn't get that this year either. We wouldn't get that until next year.
I don't know why a bigger studio like that couldn't get a port out quicker.
Right. Well,
Because Capcom is also has their hands in like 6 or 7 different things, and
it ain't
then,
what it used to be.
It's true.
yeah,
That's the thing that I wanted to say with the hypocrite shit. What I meant earlier, that all these people like are becoming the hypocrites with the Switch. It's like, okay, so people say like, yeah, they just don't. Nobody wants to announce everything, okay? And then you have like, yeah, no, but Capcom, they're working on something. You know, they made the Switch. They gave it all this RAM. So you would assume if they wanted that, people just think that means they have a plan. But now they're waiting, and we're getting a port, and now they're thinking about more ports. It's like, if you had a plan, you could have announced that. They have no plan. The RAM thing is fun. Sure, they were involved, but they had no plans with actually releasing games on it. Now they're like, oh, maybe we should port some shit
Now we
over.
have to
They
actually
didn't have
make
a plan for that RAM.
Yeah, why didn't they have a Ubisoft like Mario plus Rabbit? Why didn't they have a game they've been working on for the last 3 years to
Capcom
be
has
out?
worked with Nintendo before and making a game. They could have taken a IP and done something with it. Even why didn't they do something like that just to get their feet wet?
maybe we should phrase it this way: since the ports that we could currently get of games that for the most part are either not that interesting or are going to be late anyway, what about potential just like Switch exclusive Capcom games that we could?
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at Konami. I'm like, that was one of my arguments on Twitter. I'm looking at Konami. I'm like, how is Konami, a company that I didn't think made video games anymore, putting out a new Bomberman game? Bomberman, a new Bomberman game.
Yeah, like one of the most obscure
one.
franchises and shit.
Sure, it had issues, but this is Konami. Like they had, but they worked those issues out. They stuck around and they made the game work really well now. And there's nothing you can say about that. How is Konami putting out something that Capcom can't do? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. You know how ripe Switch would have been if Konami came out or Capcom said, "Oh, we got a new Mega Man game." Switch. I mean, you know how much that thing would have sold? Like, like in whatever state it would have been in, it would have sold crazy.
That would have been $1 million probably. So.
That's what I was thinking. Like, let's say like a real Mega Man 11, for example. You make it like 2.5D. That would have sold, and that
would have sold crazy. That would have blew. Bomberman who? What did they do? What did they sell? Nobody would have remembered.
A lot of people's there's a lot of people whose favorite NES games Mega Man 2.
Mega Man 2. Everybody talks about Mega Man 2.
And it's the only one I ever played. Crazy enough, but yeah, just I don't know. Why did the? I mean, that's a translation thing too. That wording of preparing Switch versions, but like, why weren't you more? Why weren't they already prepared? Why wasn't in March or January? Why weren't they prepared? I don't understand.
Because they didn't have a plan to begin with. It was one of those.
I just don't understand how Capcom could not have a plan, but Konami had one.
I mean, think about it.
It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't register.
To be fair, I think it's because Bomberman made more sense, whereas Street Fighter 2 just seemed like, you want to know what? They wanted more RAM, so they could put in that.
No, I'm not talking about Street Fighter 2. Ghouls and Ghosts. Something that Nintendo's fans were like, oh, they brought that back? Like, that would have blew people away. Just like Bomberman did.
Considering they're still using half of these old characters in Marvel vs. Capcom, and they literally in their franchise. Because like what, Darkstalkers? My God,
seriously,
my fucking God! I see these characters all the goddamn time on the 3DS and Marvel vs. Capcom. These characters show up all the fucking time. When was the last game?
You couldn't have scraped together some little upstart studio who want to make a name for themselves and make a new like Ghouls and Ghosts game or a new You couldn't do that?
Come
Like,
on, man.
come on.
But we can get a new Ace Attorney though, so I mean that's fine.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm cool with that.
And just to be fair, I'm not hating on Ace
Oh
Attorney.
no, I'm cool with that. Look, Ace
But it
Attorney.
just trips me out that like Ace Attorney can consistently come out with games. I think they had the Japanese exclusive great Ace Attorney 2 just recently came out. And that's like what the third fucking 3DS game. And I'm like, and you're sitting over here like, so Phoenix Wright can consistently get games,
Right.
but you guys shit like Beautiful Joe and Okami and fucking and Mega Man at this point. Even fucking Mega Man is sitting there in the corner like, are you fucking shitting me?
Objection.
Yeah.
For real.
It just fucking trips me out. It's like when you got all these IPs and you use them for this one fighting game that comes out every, few fucking like once a generation.
Sega went out there and found a fan to make one of their games. Well, like I don't understand why they couldn't have done something similar. Put not even that much money into it, a few $100,000 to a small studio, and then they would have made stupid money, gangbusters.
Yeah.
It would have went a long way as far as like relations with gamers and all that stuff. It would have been goodwill and all that good stuff you could have built. But they sitting back like.
That's one of the reasons I believe
make
Capcom
sense.
is so lenient with fan games, because they don't do anything. They have no plans, and nobody will convince me that RAM shit on the Switch, that there was a plan behind that. There was nothing behind that.
No, that was just
like now something.
No, you want to know what the RAM was for? So they can get that way of the Hadou mode. Hey man, they use Street Fighter 5 graphics. That's what they did. That's what the RAM was for.
Yeah, that's what it was for.
So they used it. There just wasn't no ulterior motive to it. That's the problem.
But this mode is super. It's gonna be trash, but it's super trash right now with only 2 gigs of RAM. So we need 2 more gigs.
But at least it looks a little bit better now. It looks a little bit better.
Yeah, it works a little better now. So that's what it was for.
Someone's been saying in the chat that he thought Monolith Soft got Nintendo to bump the RAM, but all the articles, there's not one thing they all say Capcom. But it makes me wonder, why were they requesting it if they didn't already have games planned? Like, why did they say
no, dude,
I'm
wondering why did they have to request gigs? Come on, Nintendo.
I truly believe it was the way of Hadou mode. I literally think that was the reason why they wanted.
I have a feeling you're right about that.
You know what I honestly... Nothing
else makes sense.
I have a feeling he's completely right about that.
Yeah, I legitimately think that
we'll never know probably, but I think you're right.
Retro's trying to say something.
But you had it wasn't just Capcom. There were like 2 or 3 companies like Ubisoft. There were more companies really helping Nintendo build the Switch. I honestly feel Capcom might have said it to help Nintendo. That's it. That's it. Like they're like, no, it really might be more intelligent to this, but I doubt they had their own games in mind for that. That was just to help them, I feel.
It could be.
Just something they said in passing. You might want to put a couple more gigs in there.
And then I was like, all right, fuck it, fine.
All right, cool. That's cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we that shit. Like,
we listened to Retro when they asked us to put the nunchuck in with the Wii. We just wanted to put the damn Wii remote in there, which would have been dumb as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So good thing Retro Studios.
Retro Studios didn't make that analog stick clickable and add another button. I mean,
yeah, that would have been phenomenal.
But it's just interesting, and it's just crazy. Like, what if the games? T and I talked about this right after we got our PS4s. You go look at I went to Best Buy. I didn't know every single Resident Evil game had been ported to the PS4.
I had no idea.
Resident Evil Remake. Resident Evil, no, I don't think 3 and is it 4, 5, 6 were all remade, and maybe even 0.
When the fuck was 4?
I think 0 and 2 are on that too.
Yeah, I thought 0 was
0,
which was really surprising.
GameCube. It was a GameCube game.
Yeah.
You couldn't port that to the Wii U, which was basically GameCube architecture. Like, come on. Let's look at Resident Evil games on the PS4 because.
Wait, when the fuck did 4 come out on the?
They didn't announce it. They just put them out.
We got Revelations though, man. We got Revelations.
Dude, I looked. I was at Best Buy.
One.
I could not believe.
Yeah, we have the best version of Revelations. We have Revelations on the 3DS. That's what we have.
Yeah,
and then Revelations. And then Revelations 2 was apparently garbage from what I heard. I didn't hear shit of it. That game literally came out and no one talked about it.
No one cared.
Yeah, that's because they ruined that with the episodic shit on top of that.
Why would you do that?
Are we past the episodic thing at this point? Because
kinda.
Yeah,
Telltale
until Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
So we got Resident Evil Origins Collection. Let's see what's on here. It doesn't even say like the games that are part of it.
Why the fuck not? That's so stupid.
What do you think the Origins Collection would even have?
I would think it would be.
Isn't that 0 and 1 HD remake?
Could be. It doesn't say for an odd reason. I could never explain why they wouldn't say right on the box, hey, this is these two games. Nope, doesn't say. So we got the Resident Evil collections, Resident Evil 6, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Revelations. I didn't even know Revelations. Revelations 2.
Wait, to get a remake? Or a remaster or something?
We got, I didn't even know Revelations came out on the PS4. So we got Revelations.
Yeah, it came out at the
2,
same time. Yeah.
The Origins, which looks like it's 2 games. I don't know what, probably 0 in the remake. And then you got 4, 5, and 6. So you're missing 2 and 3 in Veronica Chronicles. But who knew that these
No, we got
games,
2. Wait, no, it's Revelations 2. My bad.
So who knew that these games were on the PS4?
Right.
Like,
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, and it's all remastered stuff from GameCube era.
Yeah, this one's a GameCube, 2 GameCube games, and I wonder how they. I don't even know how they look. Like 0, I have to look on YouTube. I wonder if they even did anything other than upres it. It was a good looking.
Apparently, there is
GameCube
going to be a Resident Evil 2 remake.
That was
I feel like Resident Evil 2 remake actually is a thing.
That was 2015.
We already had one. It's on the GameCube. Let's move on. Like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
See,
nobody really wants that game because of the tank controls.
What trips me out is that people always are complaining. You know, we were talking earlier about how we were a little paranoid about how well Mario Kart did, that it might push Nintendo to do more of that shit. But like, as we've seen with other companies, it's become like a proven business model to perpetuate this shit.
It's not like, oh, we're just doing something cool for the fans. This is a business model.
Well, yeah, like people, and this is what pisses me off. It's like people want to complain about all these things Nintendo are doing now. Oh, you're charging for online now. And look, I don't agree with that shit either. But but these are the same people who perpetuated that shit by allowing it to slide on the other 2 consoles, and then were surprised when the third one was like, what the fuck? Why aren't we making any money like that? Well, you allowed it. The same thing with the stupid remakes, because remakes are cool, but then you start allowing remakes of PlayStation 3 games.
That's asinine.
That's fucking stupid. But you said it was okay, and so now we have Mario Kart Deluxe.
Yeah, it's one thing to go like okay 6 gen and before. That's acceptable, but
it just to me it just pisses me off if people want to act like it's such a, they want to be hypocrites about it. They want to get mad at the other 2 companies, but I'm like, get mad at Nintendo for doing the remakes, and I'm like, well, you allowed it on the other 2 consoles, so what the fuck is the difference? You said it was okay then, now it's not okay because Nintendo's doing it. It's fucking stupid.
And it doesn't make any sense.
And I'm watching Resident Evil 0 remaster.
It's okay. I've seen some of it.
I didn't even know. When the fuck did it come out?
I don't know, but the static, like, backgrounds look really good. Then it goes to the low res CGI, and it looks fucking terrible.
Yeah,
and then
because they couldn't be bothered to do new cutscenes.
And the gameplay, I'm not missing that. Like, it's so dated looking, but anyway, that's kind of the stuff maybe to expect for the Switch, is a bunch of Resident Evil old games coming to the Switch.
We'll get Resident Evil 4 for another fucking time.
Yeah. So okay, let's pick. What do you guys think's the most likely game to maybe not just be the first announced, but maybe the biggest or out of the Capcom games, like Marvel vs. Capcom, Resident Evil 7. What do you guys feel is the most likely Switch one? If not both, and not multiple ones, but I guess say what will be the ones most likely to you? I say Resident Evil 7, Game of the Year edition.
Yeah, I already said that back in January, so that would be my pick.
That's the only one I can think of, to be honest.
Yeah, but I was like, Capcom hasn't released a lot of games that you.
Yeah, I don't think
the only thing you have left is the Disney fucking collection.
Oh,
and some fucking
or a Mega Man collection.
Or the Mega Man collection. The Legacy 2,
which I already have. I have no desire whatsoever. I already have it on GameCube. I have both of them.
Also, apparently, the Resident Evil Origins collection came out like last year. It was like fucking 20. It was like January of last year. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Origins
weird.
collection.
But I probably if it's not that game, I probably would say Marvel vs. Capcom. That's the only other game I can think of that would make any sense.
I think it probably
What
is
about
the
we're
Resident
forgetting?
Evil.
Yeah, it's gonna be some old Resident Evil ports probably.
That,
I
but
really hope it's not.
we completely forgot like more Monster Hunter games could be possible. Like
Not this year.
Not this year. I wouldn't think. The only, I mean, they already got like what 2 coming out because Double Cross, and then you also got Worlds coming out next year.
I just don't understand where the confidence in
Worlds could be
Capcom
one.
is coming from. That's
Worlds could be one, but to me, like, I guess it almost feels like a fucking like consultation prize.
It's like
like,
what T says. Everybody's Capcom this, Capcom that, but now we're trying to with like 5 fucking people thinking about what games.
We can't even come up with
Because at this point, it'd be better to think of games we would want to see that they could do. Like
Maximo remastered.
Hey, look, you better chill out, T.
I would take Maximo remastered. I would.
Yeah, listen, T. We talking about something feasible here, right?
Bro, that's...
What's that lost that 360 game that had lost something? Didn't they make 3 of them?
Oh,
Lost Odyssey or something?
Oh, you're talking about Lost Planet. Yeah,
Lost Planet.
The Lost
Did they
Planet
make 3
trilogy.
of them or
Man.
just 2?
Yeah, it's 3 of them.
I played the first one.
Lost Planet 3 was complete ass, though. I don't know if you want to put that. I don't know if you want to add that.
They brought Okami, didn't they, to the PS4? Didn't they remaster?
Well, it was also on the Wii, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think they remastered it for the PS4.
Yeah, HD, man. It's an HD now.
Was it in PS3?
It was PS3.
Yeah, they did that.
They did it for the PS3. That's right.
Oh, okay. I know that one. I thought you.
That was a good game. I only played through it once on the Wii, and I still have it. But out of any of their old games,
we're talking about ports, man.
Wouldn't
we're talking about practice. Practice.
Well, I would. You know, to me, what makes more sense is for them to do what Konami did. Take just an IP that people don't give a damn about anymore or haven't heard from in a while, and just make a new game from it. It didn't have to be a high budget game, but just a new game for it.
Well, they should have did that for launch.
Yeah,
that was my point.
Well, no, I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, if we're talking about like new shit, I'm hoping to God it's that. Just take a pre-existing IP that hasn't been.
Just doesn't feel like that. That would be great.
That would have been great, but it's too late. But here's a good question: what's going to come out first, the next Capcom game on the Switch or Ukulele?
Ouch. I probably would say Capcom. I would say the Capcom.
What about Rhyme?
Oh no!
No, I'd say Capcom game would come out first.
Really? What about Rhyme? You think that's ever
really?
coming?
Come on, that's not. Come on.
No, dude. I think Capcom's gonna turn like a really cheap port out, dude. I don't even think this shit's gonna be even. It'll be like decent.
What, Rhyme?
No, he's talking about a Capcom game's going to be out.
Oh, okay.
I would say a Capcom game would probably be out like in January.
Well, Rhyme's being ported by Tantalus, and they do good work. So I'm wondering what the hell.
Slouch.
They do good work. But, you know, we're talking about when the game comes out. We're not talking about
some time.
At this point, we'll probably see a new Konami game before
Rhyme
a Capcom game.
If they come from the PC build, it shouldn't take that much.
Listen, Rhyme's already been out.
Know about the Switch is true. You know.
Well, the problem is Rhyme has already been out, and we're still waiting on the game.
Well, that's all right, because I bought it for
I think some of this is, Nintendo's fault, too. I think it's their scheduling. They're trying to figure out when to put stuff out.
I heard there was a rumor from one of the smaller developers who held back their game because
it's happening with a lot of these little games. They just, it's coming, and then they completely disappear.
But Ukulele, like that's got to be out before Mario Odyssey. Like that needs to be out now.
Yeah, they literally should have been.
Yeah, because that game's gonna suffer hard if it.
They did say they were doing Switch specific testing like 3 weeks ago, and then if that went well, a release date would come soon. But
yeah, that's gonna be 2018.
Look, I'll make this game. I think the Shantae DLC will be out before Ukulele will be.
Damn,
it's Shantae's on the Switch, isn't it? I forgot all about Shantae.
We'll have a 3D.
You know why? I will remind me because I think I recently saw footage of the Risky Boots mode, and I was like. Oh, they already got this shit playable. This shit will be.
At least she controls like Pirate's Curse. Like I'm excited to play that.
Yeah,
looks like the same levels though, maybe.
Yeah, they're the same levels, but they're slightly reworked for her because she didn't have the abilities. I'm more concerned about the fact that I gotta either pull out my Wii U or fucking rebuy the game on Switch and go through it again.
What happened to Axiom Verge?
No, that's coming out in. I think didn't I already have
a date? That was
I tried to go free. I couldn't find it.
It's like fucking September,
August or something. Because you can pre-order it here. I didn't look, but I think that was.
Yeah,
August.
it's like
it here.
Let me see. I saw it a minute ago. I was glancing through.
Well,
games.
that was probably a week ago when I looked. So
I think it's the Axiom. I can't.
When do you think we'll see actual Switch footage of?
Oh, it comes out October. It's October 17th.
Of ukulele.
No, Axiom.
Axiom Verge.
I'm wondering when we'll see footage of NBA 2K18 on the Switch because we still.
You want me to pre-order this shit, but I ain't seen what this shit look like yet.
And we haven't even really.
We don't know what the game looks like. Period, do we?
Yeah, we don't really know what the game looks like. Period.
Because they showed Skyrim off screen from Comic-Con.
And that doesn't have a date yet either.
Not a lot of people talked about that either.
Well, because it seemed like only like 1 or 2 people played it. Like it was at one of the
crazy.
And I heard IGN still confused on whether it's a remastered or not. Like, come on, man. Like for real. Like we still, y'all supposed to be journalists and y'all ain't figured this shit out yet. Like
what I've heard from people said it's like in between. They say
in between. Like they should know that. Why do we know this and they don't know that?
Because
like, come on.
I think graphically it might be in between, but I think everything else about it, content-wise, is the most recent version.
Yes, it has all the content. It has
all the DLC. Yeah, that's not the problem. It's just
it's got
individually. But they were we don't. I think it's the original version. Shut up.
It's the Xbox.
You can look at it and tell that it's not the original.
And Max Schofield, known Nintendo doubter, I guess I'll say.
You mean Jim Shout? You mean?
And he's like, it looks like, and he's watching on the Switch screen. It's definitely a little bit better than the 360 version, like a little bit better.
Like,
when's the last time you've seen the fucking?
He probably never seen that shit. He probably one of them frauds that act like they played the game.
Yeah, you're implying he played the original game.
Yeah, there's a lot of frauds out there.
Because it didn't. I mean,
Skyrim, shut the fuck. You ain't never touched that game in your life.
I haven't, but.
Yeah, but you're
not claiming that you did. You're not claiming.
I might pick it up so I can play it laying in bed because that sounds totally comfortable.
Come on. Why you say it like that? Why you say it like that?
That doesn't sound like wrist cramps and.
Oh, man. That's a relaxing game. You know Skyrim is relaxing. Yeah.
Hey man, the juice is loose tonight, bro.
I just
nice.
Jesus.
I cannot play the Switch in my bed in any position just because like sitting up, it's not right. I have to be standing or like sitting perfectly upright in my couch.
Yeah, I can play.
I can do it laying down, but I got to.
How? Yeah. How do you hold it?
I'm leaning up the side of my bed. That's what I'm doing.
That's kind of different.
That sounds pretty tough.
That doesn't sound comfortable either. Pushing your pancreas and shit.
Sounds like a neck in the neck.
Oh yeah, doesn't Knack 2 come out pretty soon?
Yeah, boy.
I still haven't seen footage of
Will Knack 2 outsell Odyssey? Wait a minute, you remember how the original outsold Super Mario 3D World
in the first week?
Remember how that went down? So
let's look. I've never seen Knack.
That was a story in IGN. That was a big.
Yeah, let's.
Meanwhile, the Switch is selling crazy.
Knack 2 comes out and
you don't see what you saw for the PS4.
I thought they had a release date.
I'm looking, trying to find it on that post where once again Knack outsells Mario.
What do you mean once again? You mean for the first time?
This was 3 years, 7 months ago.
It lasted for all of about a week, and it was.
Oh, Knack 2 comes out in September.
Here's the OP. Here's what the dude said. 3D World didn't even make the top 40. I don't know what he's talking about. And then he says, "Time's changing. Bow down because Knack is the future."
That is so funny and timely because I have a video where I'm talking about a game that supposed to come out on N64, never came out. It was completely finished. It had ads and it had review scores and Nintendo Power even, and it never came out. And one of the taglines for it was "Move over Mario." So look forward to that. That's gonna be a fun.
So let's look. Knack on the PS4
comes out in September.
Knack 1, I'm talking about.
Oh,
the charts did 1.75 million, but I can tell you right now, when it launched in Japan, everybody got a copy of Knack, and they counted that towards its sales.
Counted the.
Everyone got
bundled.
it. It was bundled, so that's probably cut in half for actual sales, and that was it. Like, it launched a little bit higher or something. I forget the first couple weeks. And then
Wii Sports sold 80 million copies. So.
What did Super Mario 3D World do? I forget.
You mean
Pretty
when it
World
started or
is
now?
5
4
million.
million, right? 4 or
It's
5.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
But even
Nope.
gameplay
Well, I guess there were
aside,
bundles later though.
when you look at games like Knack and the Crash thingy, I honestly think like, but it's a PlayStation 4. Why does this look like this? I feel those games are like the bare minimum of them wanting to try.
Yeah.
so
Well,
I'm about
that's
to watch.
Sony's best attempt at like making a Nintendo-like game. That's
Mhm.
pretty poor. That is pretty bad.
You guys get to. This is my very first time checking out Knack 2 footage. As
Don't do it.
on
Don't
air.
do it. It's not worth it.
Why is it so
There's a-
ashy?
I'm
It's like ashy.
looking at it right now. It's not worth it.
There's
I
a cute
promise
girl in the beginning of this video at E3 here. Well, she's
you. You're fucking weak, sir.
no, she's
Go take the L, Juice. Go sit down. Get some
Okay,
water.
let's get into this footage. Let's see.
You know,
Well, the
please
off
don't.
screen looks like a Sony 4K TV. Looks pretty clean.
Oh, it has quick time events. What the fuck?
I will
Quick
say
time
that,
events.
that Knack 2 at E3 you didn't have to reserve anything. You could just get on and play.
So they're
I
going.
was just watching a video from anybody know Young? Yeah, I think that's how you
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah, young.
I was watching the video from him. And he was just like, he did the E3 video he did, and he was just like, I think it was called like E3 was a shit show or something, and he was talking about how there was no lines for like anybody's games except for Nintendo and the Knack lines. All that stuff was just you can just walk up there, no problem.
So yeah, there's quick
What
time
the
events in
fuck
Knack
am I
too.
watching? These guys are moving like they have 5 animations for their run. Like it's the most stiff-looking thing,
Hey man,
and then they
bring
have
it
all
up.
this realistic like wood texture and stuff. And this is like supposed to look like an animated art
Yeah,
style.
it's going for like a pseudo Disney feel.
And it's like
I
they're
posted
confused.
some direct footage in the chat.
They're confused. Like,
Yeah,
what
it's
are you
not
going
okay.
for? You going for realistic? You going for an Uncharted? Or are you going for a
They don't fucking know.
It's not a platformer, by the way. It's an action game. I hate when people say it's a platformer because
It's an action
only
platform
reason-
because
yeah,
I
the
remember
only
Adam
reason-
Sessler specifically saying, "Wow, we haven't had an action platformer in years. I'm excited for Knack."
Man, tell that man he a dick. Man,
Is there any? I've never seen footage of platforming.
They're jumping right now.
Well, I
I like how that determines a platform.
As you just said that they were jumping on moving platforms. and
Okay,
then-
okay. Moving platforms.
No,
There we
well,
go.
I will say though that it's so funny just because it's so like if this was like realistic looking, right? If they made this like incredibly realistic looking, I guarantee you no one would compare it to Mario. Guarantee you. But
It's-
because
and
it's
you want
like
to talk about
thing,
Sorry.
even though it's still pretty realistic, like the floors and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm actually looking at like the graphics for it look pretty cool, but it's literally just like a beat 'em up game with like platforming
Are
elements.
you
It's
seeing
mostly
these
beating-
animations of these characters?
The
It looks-
platforming is not the point of it. It's mostly about.
It's
the-
literally a tech demo game that just did well enough to justify making another one.
I'm seeing some very basic platforming.
Oh yeah, it's
some
basic.
very
shit.
basic animations. And
Yeah, it's the platform you get in like Lego games.
Just-
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's
if Knack is a
exactly.
platformer, then Dark Souls is a platformer. If you jump off a fucking wall and some shit.
There's way more
There you go,
platform.
that's true. That's very true.
I mean, no bullshit. Odyssey looks better than this game. I mean, not from just texture quality standpoint, but watching Mario run on that
In the desert world and
the
stuff?
desert
world.
world.
My
I do
God.
agree. Actually. That
Crushes
is true.
this.
That is true.
It just doesn't look like interesting gameplay.
It doesn't look inspired. It just
It looks like a
Hey,
boring
Dave.
ass beat 'em up with just,
Robert has it perfectly. It's uninspired. It's just it's kind of soulless.
yeah.
It feels like it was just pumped out in the factory.
Yeah, it looks like
Isn't this
a
Mark Cerny.
Yeah.
it's this game. Yeah, it looks like a technical
It literally looks like a
rendition
technical-
of what what they would. You know, it's you know how what's that game? The Smash clone.
Oh, PlayStation All Stars.
Yeah, like PlayStation All Stars. You know how it wanted to be like Smash Brothers, but it didn't want to
Everything
give
that
it
was
more of
good
an
about it.
animated art style to make it look more like Smash. It's like it
Mhm.
tried to be realistic, you know, somewhat semi-realistic graphics and stuff.
Oh no.
Wow, the ad for this Mario Odyssey video has God of War listed as early 2018. That's the first.
Oh, that's
I've-
bullshit.
Oh, I've seen that before.
unless that's a beta, because they've been
Early
advertising that
2018.
every
People are
PS,
still mad at God of War anyway.
every PS4
People are
ad
mad
I've
at it?
seen. In the
Yeah,
last-
because people said that's not God of War. People are saying that's not
It
real
isn't.
God of War. It's
It's called God of War, but it looks like
they turned God of War into Last of Us.
Yeah, I didn't love God of War, but it still kind of offends me or annoys me that they changed it so much and still think that and then they just call it God of War. Like the first game was called God of War. Why are you calling this one God of War?
Because they've essentially rebooted the series and turned it into
give it a subtitle.
It's essentially a Last of Us clone with more beat 'em up mechanics.
They did that with didn't they do that with the what's the Capcom game we were just talking about?
Resident Evil.
No, you're talking about
No.
Lost Planet. Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry. They just called the new one Devil May Cry. It was straight trash.
Because they're trying to reset the series.
Yeah, movies do that too. They just call the newer version or whatever.
I know they're gonna
like Xbox.
How could they
Ghostbusters in 2016? Remember that?
Why couldn't they just call it Ghostbusters and then have a subtitle? I can't stand that they just call it Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Anyway, the PS4, like every ad I've seen in the last 2 months has been God of War.
Which is
like,
dumb.
They didn't even have a release date.
Well, you want to know why? Because PlayStation didn't have any games that actually came, new games that we knew about coming out this year. That's what tripped. At least not for this holiday, anyway.
I know, it blows my mind because in the beginning they had a few, and then all of a sudden it's just like, that's it. That's all we have. Stop it. Like that's
turn off the machine. We're done. We'll turn it back on in January. Get the shit out of here.
Yeah.
It's stupid because that's one of the reasons why I don't know why people weren't as angry with Sony this year, because it's like, guys, literally everything they showed us wasn't even done. Don't even have release dates. Yeah. Like the only games that had release dates were fucking DLC and was that it?
So that might have been what
DLC was it, and Horizon's DLC. Those are the only two things.
Getting hyped for like not even just like first party on the other consoles, but what about even third party? Like I don't hear anybody talking about Assassin's Creed
and Destiny 2. Like I guess
Destiny 2, I guess, is the closest.
I don't think people are too thrilled about the beta.
Nobody's really talking that much about it.
I haven't heard too much about Destiny 2, to be fair.
And the trailer looked completely uninteresting.
Dude, Knack looks like some I need to stop looking at it.
Like what about like first party? Because I know
what first party?
Sony ain't got nothing really, right?
Yeah, but I'll say what first party you talking about?
Sony got it all out at the beginning of the year.
They got something else.
Yeah, Sony's being pretty consistent in the beginning.
The Lost Legacy, people. Don't you remember?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm.
Right.
And what did I say?
Remember that 2-hour, adventure.
Well, they said this is panned out to be a much bigger game than just a simple expansion, but
5 hours.
See.
If Uncharted 4's main gameplay was like 7
doesn't
hours,
it come out this month? I mean, August? Fuck.
I don't know.
So angry.
And what did I say in the chat the other
day? About 3 hours.
About Lost Legacy?
What?
You guys remember?
I don't remember.
About Chloe.
Chloe's ass?
Yeah, they couldn't even make her ass look good.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
They messed up Chloe's ass. I don't even remember that.
This is watching the only one we would talk about.
He doesn't even have a hot ass. What the fuck?
That's not good at all.
Yeah.
And you know what? It has the same. You remember in Uncharted 4 when you're in the Jeep and you're driving around the mud and you do that in this game. It's the same setting. There's a little bit more lush.
It's called a rehash, sir.
Filled in jungle and stuff, but you're driving the same Jeep through the same looking environment, with mud and stuff, and it's like
that team completely dismantled, right? The Uncharted team basically, and I'm surprised this is even coming out because they barely got Uncharted 4 out the door.
Yeah, where did that girl, the lead writer, go? Infinity Ward or something?
She went away.
I think it was Infinity Ward, which is like why?
Infinity Ward?
She went on.
I think so. We should look that up.
She must have been chasing the paper on that one because there's nothing going on over there for you.
Then what paper would she be chasing?
They must have gave her. They must have gave her a nice package to come over there.
Juice, that's what papers. That's
gave her a real nice package.
Right.
I'd like to give Chloe a nice package, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's over here. We're talking about fucking her, guys. Did you see what we did there?
Jeez.
See how clever we are?
What was she? Wasn't she the lead story or something?
You mean the writer?
She was the lead writer, yeah.
She also, I think, headed up the...
She did a lot. She produced it, too.
Amy people like Uncharted.
That's why I was kind of worried about Uncharted 4 when I heard
it was Amy Henning.
Amy Henning, yeah.
See where she went.
And here we thought we wouldn't have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
So we always think that. It's
It's
bullshit.
like it's,
Oh, these fucking motherfuckers in here. They're gonna talk about something.
I felt like last week we were struggling to like hit on something, but this week we haven't had any issue.
because we keep jumping from topic. Half of this shit we weren't trying to talk about. That's the funny
We
thing.
didn't
Like,
think about any of this before we started opening our mouths.
well, yeah, because some of this shit is just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And just to kind of just bring it back to Capcom real quick, it just I don't understand why even. You know, at this point, I would rather them if they're gonna do this whole we're gonna put old games on your new console and sell them at ridiculous prices. Why don't you remake like the Street Fighters people give a damn about, like Street Fighter 3 or I think it's 3, isn't it? 3
Street Fighter 3. Well, that was
give me a fucking Street Fighter 5 type remake. And
wasn't that a leak or a rumor or something that 3 and the alphas were coming?
Yeah, but
In some kind of collection.
that would have at least justified $40 instead of fucking $2.
Yeah,
And
I
then
have
they
to clarify something.
I love the alpha games.
was
I know people are like chomping at the bit to correct me. She went to Visceral Games and is working on that Star Wars.
Oh, that's what it is.
Visceral did the Dead Space games, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. Because again, Young right? Am I saying his name right?
I'm Young Yeah. Like I don't.
For some reason, he ended up in my recommended videos. I've been watching him.
I would subscribe to him for the longest time, but he really loves Metal Gear Solid.
He was on a Mass Effect Andromeda trip for a while there.
Was he?
Like, he made like 15 Mass Effect Andromeda videos. Just like, damn, I think I sat and watched all of them. Very interesting stuff.
I'm watching Chloe shoot, and then here comes an armored car with a mounted gun that you have to run from. Are you kidding me?
We like our chase sequences.
Never seen that in an Uncharted game.
Come on, man. It's DLC. It's not supposed to be
I
like
played
that.
2 Uncharted games.
You know the gameplay already. Come on. You've known the gameplay since Uncharted 2.
It's like, are you kidding me? Like, again? Like, that's not fun.
You know, that's mostly fun. I'm fine with it. I mean, it's DLC. I'm fine with it.
It's completely on its own.
Wasn't it like $40?
No, it's standalone.
It's called standalone. It is DLC though. We all know it's DLC.
Isn't it like $40?
I thought it was 20 because isn't Last of Us Left Behind wasn't that 20?
Yeah, but this isn't DLC. You don't have to have.
No, yeah, but Left Behind.
You don't have to have the game. You don't have to have
Is the actual DLC $20? I mean,
let's look.
Because I thought it was. I think it is. I'm not.
But that would be great if you had the game. If you get a discount.
That would be.
Yeah.
No, it's $40. It's $40.
$40. Yeah.
Which is fucking stupid.
That's
Wait,
pretty
so
much
it's not DLC. It's just basically a new game, but it's small, so they call it DLC to
if this
justify
game had,
it.
But I heard it was only like, isn't it like 5 hours of gameplay or something?
Maybe.
Well, that's all Uncharted 4 had. They had like 7.
And you took all the cutscenes out. Yeah,
it had 5 hours of cutscenes.
That's not even a joke. That's for real.
Why would you pay $40 for that? Or 60, I guess, technically.
But that's what I'm saying. If they're only charging 40 for it, you can imagine how much is not in this game.
Well, if you're getting 5 hours of gameplay, that's almost as much as Uncharted 4. So
yeah, I don't know if you're gonna get that much.
Wow, that's depressing. I don't hear.
I think you might get a Metal Gear Solid. What was that one that came out? That straight up demo they charged for.
It was like Grounded Zero. Ground Zero.
Yeah.
That was fucking bullshit.
People went out there and bought that shit.
I mean, I liked the game, enough Metal Gear Solid 5 for getting it for free. I would not have paid more than $20 for it.
I always end up buying Metal Gear games, but I barely play them. It's a weird situation where I'll go out and buy.
Sounds like a personal problem to me.
It is. It's strange, like because they don't hold me for very long, so it takes me a while to even start.
Because maybe you don't like the movie and you just want to play the game.
Yeah, them damn movies, man.
I know. I was like, I watched enough movies on my free time. I was trying to play video games.
Yeah, Kojima wanted to be a movie director so bad. It's just like,
hey man, but aren't you looking forward to Death Stranding? Come on now.
No, is that still is it even a game? It's still a concept as far as I'm concerned.
He's holding he's holding naked babies.
There's no game there.
That's the kind of shit.
They haven't started it.
It's the kind of shit where they made all these cool cutscenes and you gotta try to make a game around it.
It's very interesting cutscene.
Well, I mean, technically, Beyond Good and Evil has the same problem. You made this really kick-ass CGI cutscene, and it's like, where's the game at? And then we didn't get the game.
At least they showed the game.
Yeah, we saw it later.
What game?
At least they even showed it. Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Oh yeah.
Remember when we first saw it? It was
we know that's an actual game because we saw, some gameplay.
Yeah, we saw that later.
In the world.
That's the one thing I don't fucking like. I don't like the fact that people are spending all this money on these fucking CGI cutscenes and like have no game to show.
Yeah,
us.
like don't do that. And not only money, but that's the stuff that's gonna take up space on the carts, man, or the discs.
And what pissed me off
is
that people were like, "Man, I really wish they did a CGI cutscene of fucking Samus from Metroid." And I'm like, guys,
no, don't waste.
That was the worst part
movie
of Metroid Prime Hunters. And Nintendo hated spending that money. Like I forgot, was it who made Prime Hunters? Was it NST? Yeah, NST made Prime Hunters.
Well, what?
Nintendo Software Technologies, that American arm of Nintendo.
Oh right.
Who I think should be at least consulted or working on the new Prime game, Prime 4. Maybe that will be a thing.
Well, what game had the CGI like Samus's beam like from the inside creating the explosion and then Other M?
Yeah, that was Other M.
Other M had
Other M had like a stupid amount of marketing.
They used that on
Metroid Prime Hunters had a lot of CG cutscenes, and Nintendo was upset about them putting budget into that. NST, I remember that being a thing. Reading the article about that way back when.
Yeah, I've learned that like Nintendo seems to have a lot of those moments where like their developers would just go off and do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, they went off and did whatever they wanted, and Nintendo wasn't happy about.
I mean, to be fair, that Nintendo's kind of promoted that indirectly with the because that's how Smash Bros. Was made. It was just,
but Nintendo's so restrictive, was what I heard. Like some of this stuff don't go together. Like,
hey man, you trying to put the square block into the round hole, man. That's all that's happening right now.
All right, well let's wrap it. We've been over 2 hours, so
let's put the condom on this bitch.
Maybe play some Splatoon 2 or something.
Go back to Splatoon 1 on Wii U.
I would, but I can't play it off
better
TV,
game.
So I can't.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, great discussion. We'll save final thoughts for another time. But I was worried because I really didn't know what kind of conversation these two topics would have, and I've been working all day without even a second thought to look on my phone, check YouTube, think about anything gaming related. So it was nice.
You know what's gonna happen when we come together. The chemistry in this bitch is too strong. We're gonna find something to talk about.
I was even thinking, why do we still do these podcasts? Like that's what I was thinking earlier today. Is I was so tired at work. I was just like 5 straight hours of
that Monday depression hit hard, man.
I know that Monday, man, is something else.
I was just like, God, it's like we got nothing to talk about, and it was a great discussion. So
2 hours later,
and right now I'm watching some amazing light shafts coming through the trees on the Lost Legacy.
Oh, I know what you were talking about for a minute.
I know,
it's gorgeous, man. It's gorgeous.
I want to see the light between the thighs.
That sounds just like my best friend. He says shit like that all the time.
You go out to the club or something, boy.
All right, let's thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in. We had a good turnout this week, and thanks the Team Juice for a great podcast. And I'd like to play some Splatoon 2 if you guys want to for the next few minutes, like half hour or so. So if you're listening live and you're on the friends list, jump on so you can get into the room. So that's going to be it for this week, and look forward to next week, where hopefully I won't have the same thoughts about quitting again. But
depression.
I'm gonna say donate to the Juices Loose. So
it's a therapy fund.
Yeah, we get.
Glad I didn't give in to that thought, and good discussion, and it's just fun.
It's like he's committing suicide. I'm so scared.
Don't spit your wrist on us, man. Damn.
Jesus Christ.
I got my Switch in my hand, and I'm ready to play some games. So we'll see everybody next week.